What?
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Hi, this is Heather Langenkamp, and you're watching Death Curse Society. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! What is going on? Death Curse Society.
This whole fucking room was full like 2 seconds ago.
It's Red Crank and Zigzag. Colonel is on assignment. No, he'll be joining us shortly. Probably had some kid issues that he had to deal with real quick, but yeah. Ziggy, good week for you?
You know, it's crazy. With the family business, it's the Christmas season, so there's Christmas trees and Christmas pots and grave blankets and poinsettias. So I'm already Christmas the hell out, man. I don't know.
Already, huh?
I'm already burned, man.
December 11th.
Good Lord. I mean, it's not even the 12. This is it. This is the start of the 12 days, isn't it, coming up here?
Pretty close, yeah.
This is when they start ramping up the Christmas tunes everywhere you go, no matter what. Dude, that's it, man. That's it.
I've already been whamageddoned out. Like literally the day after Thanksgiving, some asshole played Last Christmas, and I was like, God damn it.
I mean, I guess here at this time of the month, we got to go ahead and allow the Christmas season to begin at some point. So
yeah, sure.
Cool. I'm trying to be festive and in spirit, but oh shit, man, it's already like, some people like this stuff.
I won Armageddon last year though with I have a series of DJ friends around the area that we play it with, and I was first one out, guys. So
yeah, but it's cool. I mean, I actually got most of my shopping done for the boy and everything, so I'm cool with that. Got that out of the way.
Cool.
And I don't know what's going on down there. There's all kinds of craziness going on.
Yeah, we're missing some things down there, but hopefully we do have a guest that's going to be joining us later. We had some technical difficulties when he first came in, but we're trying to work around those, and we hope to get him back in here in a minute. We'll talk
ironing that shit out. Damn it.
Yeah. I think Tarek already has got the lowdown on what's going on. On assignment. That happens to be
unbelievably smart. It's just stunning how he's just so tuned into how this fucking show works. Amazing.
And you've got your shopping done, it looks like, but Bethany hasn't even started yet. You got a couple weeks. You have exactly 2 weeks. That's plenty of time.
I was kind of given specific targets, so what the hell? Might as well get it done. That's so. I mean,
Right.
Wasn't too bad.
All right. Well, that's not bad. Well, before the Colonel gets back in here and everybody else, we get everybody joined and tuned in. Let's go ahead and do all the thank yous and get that out of the way.
I said, do the thing, man.
Yeah, do the thing, man. Thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, and Tyrone, our crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street Pete, Corey, Luke, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys. And of course, special thanks to our associate producer, C Phase. We'll bring him in for a minute. What's
There
going
he
on, Phase?
What is up?
Not much. It's another Monday.
Another Monday and bad beats last night on the poker table.
Last night on the poker table was pretty rough. So
Well, once again, we were paired with a table full of idiots and basically a minefield, and we're wearing iron boots. You know what I mean? So, and then somehow, though, one of us did make it through, and it's all good. As long as the heroes win.
Well, hold on. There he is.
There he is.
Boom.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. Now the party fucking start, baby. Woo.
Yeah, you know what? We were all just sitting here. It was like this.
Well, we're waiting.
Well, when the Sarge says, I need your help.
I
Sarge
got
gets
you.
help.
You drop what you're doing and you go help the Sarge.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's right. Well, I'm not even going to unceremoniously do this. I'm just going to whoop. Yep, there we go. Not even going to ask the question because he already knows it's coming. He already knows it's coming. We're just going to ditch Phase out of there.
Throw them out of there Detroit style and get on with this.
That's right. That's right. We got to move on and get into the nitty gritty of what we got going on for you today, because I'm pretty excited about this one. I love having the artists come on and talk about their craft. I love having Angelo come on, JT, other people that we've had on the show. When we started doing conventions, I had no idea what the hell I was getting myself into. I figured there's going to be a lot of people. I'm probably going to be sensitized, however you say, overstimulated. How about that?
Yeah.
There we go. And I didn't think I was going to have a very good time to begin with. But one of the things that really kind of helped me navigate this convention world was getting to meet some of the kick-ass vendors that we see in various places around the country. And we've come to know them a little bit. We've come to buy a ton of their stuff, throw on the wall. I'm stalling until we get his camera adjusted.
Getting him a little stabilized. There we go. We got the thumbs up. So
I got the thumbs up. All I saw was a crotch for a minute, and I was worried. I was like, "Oh boy, what kind of show are we going to start?" And it's not that kind of art.
He might be a fan of DX.
Right.
Hey, you don't know.
It wouldn't be the first time we had a dick pic on the show. I mean, so
wait, what? Yes, it would.
Well,
no,
maybe not
every week though. People got used to it.
Right. I was gonna say, pretty much as soon as you enter the room, there you go.
Gee, thanks. But anyway, we've met this guy at several cons. We purchased pieces from him. He's just one of those good guys that we love to go and talk to every time we see him at a show. All right, bringing him in, Mr. Nickolas Jackson from Cine Tredici. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All
right.
And there's no feedback. Beautiful.
Yeah. I had the only headphones in the entire house were my daughter's, these giant, ridiculous things. So,
man, I wish they were My Little Pony.
You're not the first.
they're
Nor the
close.
last.
I don't know. They're ridiculous. They don't fit my head either. It's my giant head. I don't know.
You look fine. We
Not the first.
won't judge you at all for it.
Yep.
And it works out great. So, first off, thank you for joining us. We know you've never done one of these interviews, so
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for asking me. This is it's funny. I was just talking to my wife about this, that I talk to so many people. My favorite part of doing the shows is just talking to different people and seeing what they're into. But there's a the conversations I have are relatively disposable. You know what I mean? Like it's like the things that we say are at the moment and they're there and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that no matter what I say, like it is immortalized forever. Forever. It's just
This will be on YouTube forever until
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
until Google crumbles into the ground. But by then we'll all be gone, so it won't matter.
It won't matter. Yeah.
Right. Unless Elon Musk figures out some way to extend his life in some kind of cryogenic chamber, and then he becomes ruler of all the world. And so
he's working on it.
He is working on it, which is scary.
Yeah,
it bothers me, but that's a whole different conversation. Well, let's get it going though. When did you first realize you had an artistic talent, and how did it present itself to you? And how did you train yourself in your youth to like improve it and work on it?
I'd say I've been doing art. I've been like drawing as far back as I can remember. That's just been like my outlet. It's funny, my mom, I was just up at my old house and she just gave me this stack of this folder she had a stack of old drawings in it. And it was, it's pretty neat to see because my oldest daughter's in the art school right now, like an art-based high school.
Nice.
And it's funny to see like the kind of stuff that I was doing versus the kind of stuff that she's doing, like a little relatively the same age. I mean, this was like, I was like middle school, a lot of this stuff, but I've always kind of just always been drawing. And then, when you start then painting and then sculpting, it's funny. Do you know who Steve Blickenstaff is?
I do not.
You know the Cramps, the band?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds so familiar.
So, the Bad Music for Bad People, that the cover, the artwork.
The cover? Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve Blickenstaff painted that or drew that. And he actually came to my middle school and did like this like career day thing, but it was like a, hey, future in artwork, a future in cartoon, like cartoons and stuff like that. Because he does a lot of stuff. He does a lot of the shows too. And it's funny. I vividly remember meeting Steve Blickenstaff, and his stuff was kind of like a little creepy and like a little bit weird. And that was stuff that I was kind of into, but like my parents, like they weren't like against it, but it wasn't like when we go to the horror section at the video store, they'd always be like, yeah, let's move along here. You don't want to go over there. But that's what made it even cooler, because like all those giant boxes and all those like warning signs, and it felt like the coolest place on earth was like the horror section. But as a little kid, but anyhow, when I met Steve or Mr. Blickenstaff, and then I that really stuck out to me too. So that's like another kind of a cool early life. And then I just did art all the way through high school. It was like my main goal. And then I'd say at some point in high school, I started shifting more towards filmmaking. And that was kind of the thing I started pursuing more when I was younger.
Okay.
And then after I graduated high school, I ended up going to film school. And then I didn't like really do any, I just kind of abandoned all art. Like it just wasn't something I started working on anymore, and just went like full into filmmaking. And I don't know if you guys, I assume that you have some kind of background in filmmaking.
I was a
Radio.
screenwriter for
Not
a
the
while.
legal kind.
Well,
You
like
can
filmmaking.
see the Colonel's OnlyFans account later on tonight. But that's
Right. Yeah.
I'll send you guys the link.
All right, I thought you saad there were no dick pics on this. I don't know. Like,
not on this channel. It's a
Yeah.
different
Oh,
channel.
okay.
No, it's just me topless eating wings, man. No dick pics. I promise.
That
Gotta
would
be
sell.
the wing.
That would sell, actually.
It would. But yeah, that kind of moved into that. But like filmmaking is tricky because it's a collaborative thing, and like getting people together. You guys, I'm amazed that you guys do this. Getting people together as they get older is not easy anymore. You know what I mean? Like trying to get like, when you're young, it's like everybody's ready to go. Like, hey, we'll just grab a camera, run out in the woods. Like, when I was first starting, we were shooting on Super 8 and like, and then you get older and it's like, man, I got somewhere to be, it's cold outside. I don't want to get covered in fake blood. So then like when filmmaking started trending down more or less, I just kind of started picking art back up again. But it was solely just for like me. Like it was only personal. Like I just painted for me. So
I got you. Well, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but were your parents supportive of your artistic habits when you were younger? And do you remember them having an impact on your artistic desires, either negatively or positively?
Oh, no, absolutely. My mom and dad were super supportive. My dad was an artist, so he did a lot of artwork and stuff. So that was always, he's a musician first and foremost, but he did a lot of artwork. And I remember like growing up and like seeing, like, it was always amazing to me to see people like be able to like, you'd see something that was like cool, and then like being able to just kind of render it like you know what I mean? Like it was, I don't know, it's like I remember my dad painted this it was the blue meanie from Yellow Submarine. I don't know. And he painted it, and I just remember it would hang in our house, and I just remember thinking like it looks just like the fucking blue meanie. Like it looks exactly the same thing. Like look at how cool is that? So like it just kind of blew me away. But yeah, they were real supportive. And then my parents are divorced, so my real dad also actually, as it turned out later, did some artwork too that I didn't even really know about. So, but yeah, no, they were super supportive.
Good. Ziggy, you want to jump in here, maybe with 2?
Yeah, for sure. When did horror get into your life? You know, first of all, like what would be the movie that put you on that path, and then how did that work itself into your artwork? What was that first movie that inspired you to create some art based on it? Just it scarred you that bad you had to get it out.
No. So my first introduction, like the one that got me, like everybody's got the one that got them, and mine is Trilogy of Terror. The Karen Black, that fucking doll, man.
Zuni doll?
I would say at least once or twice a year I have a nightmare about that doll. To this day, every year for like my life since I saw that on like I said, my parents were divorced, so like I would go to my dad's on the weekends, and I was allowed to stay up, and it was like, oh cool, and it was like Cinemax late at night, and like what am I, I'm not supposed to be watching this. If I were at home, I'd have to be in bed, and it came on, and that movie freaked the shit out of me. To this day, it's the first movie that just scared the shit out of me. Still does. Like I don't even remember the other 2 bits in that trilogy. I just remember the one. I don't even remember what else happens in that movie. But I did a lot of like in high school I did a lot of horror art and stuff like that, but it was like I said, my goal really at that point was still filmmaking. Like I was like was leaning more towards that way. But after, like I said, I wasn't working on film as much. I would say the movie that like basically jump started my whole desire to start painting more horror stuff was The House of Usher, Roger Corman, Vincent Price. Okay. There was that movie. There's those paintings on the walls, like his evil family. You know what I mean? He had like, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but he's like, all the horrible ushers, and he's going down the line of like these terrible human beings. And I wanted those paintings so bad. Like I was like looking on eBay. I was like, these paintings have to exist. I looked up the artist. His name's Bert Schonberg, and he's awesome. And like I just couldn't find I couldn't even find pictures. I couldn't find anything. So I was like, I could paint them. Like why don't I just paint these portraits? And they were the first. And this was, I mean, my daughter was like, I don't know, maybe 3. So this was 12 years ago, maybe. Oh, wow. And then I just started painting, and I painted the portraits, and then I started painting Vincent Price, and then I just started painting. It was like a personal tribute to like all the movies I loved, and I had no intentions of selling them or going to cons. Like it was just like moments in the movies that I thought were like beautiful and awesome, because it was like, you guys know because you're all fans. Like there's more to we don't just like them because they're bloody. We don't just like them because they're scary. There's an artistry there that is just special. You know what I mean? And it was all of the art I do is just like a personal like tribute to the movies, and then the filmmakers and the actors, and so. But House of Usher, and Trilogy of Terror.
I like what you said there, because never would have considered myself an art collector per se. And it's what you said there, though. Like you're picking these moments in these particular movies, these particular scenes you choose. That's what attracts me to certain pieces, because, I have limited ones I collect, and so to be part of this club, I mean, you're in now. And I think it's amazing that you can actually lock onto those same, connect that way to it, and nail it so good on canvas like that. So I mean, it's just that's what blows me away about it. I mean, it's just how it just takes me right to the scene, exactly to it, and brings me that same fear and stuff when I had it when I first saw these things. So I just love it, man. I think it's great.
Well, thank you. That burning looks really good over your shoulder, by the way.
All right, we'll get it down there. I mean, this is right here, and then below that, Aiden, let me move my mic for a second.
Oh yeah, City of the Living Dead. I actually just saw. So the original one was a gift to my brother-in-law, and we were over there at Thanksgiving, and I couldn't believe it. But he's got a bunch of my originals, and he has them all in his living room. It was funny. I was going down. I was like, "You have like 8 originals of mine in your living room, and they're all like horror movie stuff." And I'm like, my sister-in-law, she's awesome, but I was like, it's pretty crazy that they have like he's got that one, the priest. He's got the he's got a whole bunch of them. He's got the original Necronomicon I did, and it's just kind of fascinating to see all these paintings. I was like, it's cool. Like it seems neat. I love it when I see people put originals up.
I inquired about the original Father Thomas when we saw you in what was that? That
was Oaks, right?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oaks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yes, then you told me, oh no, that one's been gone a while.
Well, no, like those are it's it's those moments in the movies that like I don't know, that just stand out to you because like it drives my family nuts because we'll like be watching a movie and I'm just like whoa, pause, rewind, like look at that, like look at the framing, look at like whatever that is, it's fucking beautiful. And then it's like I'm taking pictures, and they're like, "Jesus, can't we just watch the movie?" I'm like, "Hold on 1 second." And then in my phone, it's I'll go through my phone, and my wife is just like, "There's no pictures of us on there," and I'm like, "It's just freeze frames from from clips." It's like it's just all stuff like that. It's because it's like every time I'm working, like I'm I'll get on runs where it's just where I want to just I keep wanting to keep it like I'm doing this thing right now where it's like American directors who have passed away, like horror icons, which is, I guess it's a good thing, but I'm surprised how few there are that have like really like iconic American like horror directors that have passed on. I've got 8 of them, but like I'm just on a run. Like and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Like half the paintings, like I don't know if people are going to know what this is. I don't know if anybody's going to, and it's just like just keep going. Like I'm just like on a run. I just did this one.
People love those tribute pieces, though.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I did. It was an Anthropophagus.
Yeah.
So I just did one, and I'm like, no one's gonna have any freaking clue what this is. Like, it's just like the guy's face with his guts coming out, like the death card floating, and like his head becomes the island. And I'm like, whatever. I'll post it online, but no one's gonna get it. And what's so awesome is that those are always the first ones, like, oh my God, Anthropophagus. And it was like, yeah, all right.
Because the fans of movies, those obscure movies like that, are looking for stuff like that. Always. Always.
Because you can never find any of the obscure stuff,
Right.
It wasn't even like, before we get back into the questions, I mean, I remember we met Nick for the first time, I want to say, where I recall, and actually it stuck anyway. Yeah, I smoke a lot of pot, so. But was Living Dead Weekend in 2022.
Yeah.
And that's where we first saw, like, I'm going to show a couple of these right now. I'm not going to show the whole roll yet, but like this kind of thing where he does layouts.
Oh, yeah, the map.
This is what attracted me to your booth, bro. I mean, this stuff nobody was doing this stuff, It's so fucking cool. And this doesn't do it justice because it's so crystal clear and everything he lays out where deaths happen on these maps. They're fantastic. Crank has one on his wall too.
You couldn't wait until question 8 until we got to this part.
We're going to get to it. I just wanted to say this is how we were kind of introduced to him,
There's a structure, man. There's a fucking structure.
That's why I didn't show everything. Got 25 pictures on there. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I've got mine right there.
Yes.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
There you go. The Crystal Lake. And
I love that piece, man.
And that tells out.
I wanted to get it when we were at Living Dead Weekend, but funds were tight that weekend. So.
Oh man.
That's another thing that started, specifically the Crystal Lake one. It started out as just something that I thought would be really cool. I was like, you know what I'd like, because my whole thought process was like, it was one of those shows where they had like most of the Jasons that have ever, that had ever been. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what would be a cool thing to get them all to sign? And I've seen people get like the Crystal Lake sign. That's cool. Or get like machetes, which is you can't do anymore. And I was like, you know what? I'll make a map that has where everybody, like where all the locations were and where everybody was murdered through all the whole movies. And that would be a cool thing to get all the different Jasons to kind of sign off on everybody that they killed.
Genius.
And then, but it's just for me. And like, I want to say I was even vending and not selling the maps. I just made it for me. And then I was at a show and they're like, man, where'd you get the map? And I was like, I made it. And they're like, oh, let me get one. I was like, nah, I only got the one. And they were like, you should make more of those.
Yeah.
Like,
we were both, we were like, dude, look at these. I mean, he had My Bloody Valentine. He had, there's other ones. I have more in there. Don't worry. But it was because I was like going, how the fuck has nobody else ever done this before like this?
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking cool.
Right.
It's a lot of work. It's a totally different like itch that gets scratched. If you know what I mean? Like as far as like an inspiration, like the painting side is like a lot more of an emotional thing. And not to try and sound pretentious or anything, but it's like, like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I want to paint that. But with the maps, it's more like a research. Like, well, how does this all make sense? How can I make this make sense? Like the Evil Dead one you just showed specifically, like when I was like, I'm going to make a cabin that'll have where everybody died on Evil Dead 1 and 2. And I thought it'd be kind of funny because it's kind of a remake. So like there was kind of repeat deaths. But then as I was like watching the movies and like freeze framing it, I'm like, these fucking cabins are different. They're like completely different. The layout's different. Like it doesn't make sense. There's a dining room in the one and there's no kitchen. The next one has a kitchen, but no dining room. I'm like, shit. And I'm like, but the whole point is to try to be as accurate as accurate as I could be. So I was like, man, now I got to make two. So that's why I have an Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2 map. That's pointless. But like, if I mixed them together, I'd get them both wrong. So
right
now, just out of curiosity, I'm not this type of asshole. I wouldn't do it. So you seem pretty thorough and accurate in your maps. Has any asshole at one of these cons actually went through and tried to fact check you?
It's only happened one time. I had a dude come up to me at Creature Feature in Gettysburg. Have you guys ever been to Creature Feature?
Not yet.
That's right, because I keep forgetting that you guys aren't local. Local to me.
Right.
You're local somewhere. But I had one dude on my Haddonfield map. It was where Jamie Lloyd died. And he's like, Jamie Lloyd died on the farm, and he's looking at the map, and he's like, she died right here, and you don't have her dead there. And I was like, I know she died in the farm. I'm like, but I can't figure out, like, why I wouldn't have put her there. So then I had to go. That night, I went back to the hotel room, and got the movie, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, no. She crawls out of the bathroom at the bus depot, steals the car, and drives the car up the road and crashes at a different barn. And then I had to go back on my map. I'm like, there it is. It was like a different farm. And I'm like, all right, no, I was right. And then next day I was like, I had to run over to him. I'm like, Jamie Lloyd's on the map, man. I was like, she's at a different farm. And he's like, all right, I stand corrected.
I love it.
Someone, I can't remember. Actually, I think it may have been Stacy.
I wasn't going to bring this up.
Somebody pointed out that there's a slight, Paula Holt is killed in part 2 instead of Paul Holt on the Friday.
I wrote Paula?
You've got Paula.
That's all right, though. It gives it some more charm to it.
Well, now I got to fix it.
But now you got to fix it.
I can't fix it, though.
Because that makes these even rarer and more valuable.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bullshit. I expect a full exchange when you get the new. No, I'm just kidding.
Lovely.
Well, the Crystal Lake one, again, it was the first one I ever did, too. So it wasn't necessarily, I was doing it just for me. So maybe I wasn't quite as thorough. But I'm pretty sure I was as thorough as I could be. Getting the Jason X on there was tricky because I couldn't get space on there, but I did put the research facility on there. So it was also the original time. Like that was the other thing too, is that like anytime you make a map, like I don't want to make it editable. You know what I mean? Like as these franchises continue to go, I don't want to like have to go back and fix it. So I pick like bookends, like a beginning and an end. So I try to stick with like the original timeline. So with Crystal Lake, it was like, the remake broke the timeline, so I stopped right before the remake. And then with Haddonfield, the zombies to me broke, so I did the whole original, run, including Resurrection, which sucks, but it had to make it on the list. So
you got to put it in.
It was on there, yeah.
It's there. Well, okay, since we're talking about the maps, how much research goes into creating like a fully mapped environment and a fully mapped world based on multiple movies that may not have a whole lot of cohesiveness to them as a whole, because there's not that much continuity, especially in Friday the 13th.
Oh no.
So
no.
How
It's
do
tough.
you go through that without pulling your hair out? You still have some good hair, it looks like.
That's because I'm wearing a hat.
Oh, okay.
They're tough. It's the Scooby-Doo one I did. That's particularly was tough because it's a cartoon, so it even makes less sense.
Yeah.
Because like even with the within the confines of the individual episodes, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Because it's, they'll be driving by the pizza palace and then there's the malt shop, but then they keep heading this way and then there's the malt shop again, and they keep heading this way and then there's a malt shop again. It's just like those Hanna-Barbera repeating backgrounds. It's like, oh my God. But there's a lot of effort made. Like the Crystal Lake one was tricky, having to kind of, because I think it's only the first and the second one where they ever reference locations, because in the second movie they do walk back towards Crystal Lake from where they were in the second one. So like the camp. So that one I had to make sure that made sense to me. But the other ones I basically had to pick a lake big enough that these things could occur.
Dude, you took some liberties, yes, but it makes it such a cool fucking piece to have it all on there like that. So I don't think anybody is going to be that stickler to it. Like, well, I don't think so. That one should have been.
Yeah.
Well,
and if some jerk comes along and says, Scooby-Doo always walked left to right, so that should just be a long panoramical map.
Yeah.
That's an asshole move anyway.
Yeah. Well, in general, I try to do like as good a job as you possibly can, because like you said, they're not written to be like no one thought that someone was going to make a map based on this stuff. So like right. I do it as close as I can get, and everything that I get wrong except for Paula is something that I think that it's like anybody's guess. You know what I mean? It'd be like,
right.
Hey, like it is what it is. Like right now the map I'm working on now is a Cornetto trilogy map, so it's going to have like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then World's End. So that one is going to be, they're not all kind of in the same location, so that one's going to be kind of tricky. But like that's a lot of research into that one too. So
can I request someday maybe get a Fulci trilogy Gates of Hell map with the City of the Living Dead? You'd have to take some, be creative with it because it's some different locations, but
yeah,
it would be very cool.
We'd have, what would our locations be? What, Louisiana?
Yes. Well, Dunwich. What the fuck? I don't know.
Dunwich?
Yeah.
It's New York, isn't it? Isn't it by there where they never really say?
Which one?
In the City of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, you're right. I feel like that was New York.
Yeah, the Beyond.
That's Louisiana.
That's Louisiana.
Yeah.
That's the house. And then the house by the cemetery.
Do any of them take place in Italy?
I don't think so. I think that is New York. That one is New York. House by the cemetery.
Man, I could do a Fulci's New York, because then you have New York Ripper. Yeah.
Zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
New York Ripper.
Yes.
Don't Torture a Duckling is Italy.
Cat in the Brain is probably Italy.
Yeah.
It is, because
we're working here, folks. We're working on
something. Hey, man, this is great stuff. I'm just saying that's me, my own selfish wants. Anything Fulci, I'm all over it.
Well, since Ziggy is throwing out requests, so are some of the watchers. Grizzly wants to know if you do take requests, how about The Thing?
So I have gone back and forth with. I've had a lot of different like John Carpenter ideas. I was working on a John Carpenter California one, which I'm still kind of working on, but I've like kind of not gone back to it for a while. I was going to do an Outpost 31 one, but I've seen an Outpost 31 map, and I try not to do things that I've already seen, that I've seen a map of. Like I've had people ask about a Derry map, like Stephen King, and I've seen Derry maps, so I don't really want to do that. I've seen I had somebody who was like, hey, you should do like the blueprint of the Overlook, but I've seen people attempt that. That would be fun because it doesn't. That's another one that doesn't make sense. It's like the impossible structure. which would be fun to do. But if I've seen somebody already do it, then I don't want to like be like comparing mine. You know what I mean? I'd rather just kind of do something that I think is new. So I try not to to do that. But I've thought about doing a thing one. I want to do like I said, I want to do like a big just it's all John Carpenter stuff. And like I started focusing on a Carpenter California one. But it doesn't include everything. It would only have like 3 or 4 movies on it. But
you'd almost have to do like an entire United States map.
Yeah,
like one for each
properly,
film, like a booklet. That'd be pretty fucking cool, though.
I agree.
There's this lady that comes to me all the time, and she's trying to get me to make road maps, like foldable road maps. So like the way so it can be folded up, but then it can be expanded. It has all the information, and then like you can fold it back up. And I've always thought that was like a really cool idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would get at a gas station. I guess you don't do that anymore, but like you used to get at a gas station.
Yeah, but no one knows how to refold those maps.
No,
Nope.
That's the problem.
It would just get crushed back up and shoved back in.
Right. You throw it in your glove box, and it just sits in the way for a while.
Yeah.
No, that is a good idea, though. I do like the idea from her. That's good. One more request. Our buddy Bill, how about a Victor Crowley hatchet?
You know what's funny about Victor Crowley? I remember watching those movies when they first came out, and I was like, I wasn't really into them. I revisited them this summer, and now I fucking love them. Like
They're good,
series,
man.
that series is great. Like I don't know, like maybe at the time I don't know what was going through my mind. Maybe it was just a movie that I needed to kind of come back to. But they're so much fun. I actually
over the top gold.
Oh yeah,
they're just a blast, man.
Yeah.
And they really do. They feel like they belong in like a different time. Like they seem like a product of like, and I don't want to. It sounds like kind of like cliche to say like of the '80s, but it does. It just feels like there's no pretentiousness. There's no like they're just having fun. It is what it is. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. I know. I absolutely love the series now. It was
Nice.
Disappointed, and I have a bunch of stuff that I was like sketches I had done after revisiting them all. I liked all of them too, like all of them. Like I thought they were all good. I mean, I know some of them weren't as strong as others, but I thought the whole franchise. I had the same thing with the Child's Play. I was never a Child's Play franchise guy. Like it was never my series. Like it was always kind of like that's cool. Like the killer doll. Like I don't really get it. You could just kick him and then the whole thing would be over. Like. But then I revisited that whole franchise when I was making that map, and now I freaking love that franchise. That there's a continuity in that franchise that's missing in all other franchises, except maybe Hatchet. Like,
yeah,
it's because when you have the creator involved in the whole thing, like he never leaves. Like you feel that, you know what I mean? Like,
and as long as as long as that creator actually cares about the story and not just where's my fucking check.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're right, actually really creatively involved, not just like this executive producer thing. So.
Right. Colonel, you want to go with 4 there?
4. Well, that's right, because my last name does start with 4. Okay.
That's not why.
So,
right.
When did you decide to pursue this as a career? Like a lot of artists, they'll leave it in their background as a hobby, if you will. But what was the decision like for to accelerate your craft?
So when I first started painting, it was all for me. It was just stuff that I did for myself. And like, I had like dozens of these paintings in my attic, and my wife's like, you should try doing a show. And I'm like, I don't know. Like some of this stuff is super obscure. Like I don't, and as we said, like that's the stuff that connects most with people, honestly. Like the weirder stuff I do, the more obscure is the stuff that people seem to like more. And then makes me want to make more obscure stuff. So I did that first show, and I had such a good time. It was a blast. I took my daughter, who was like young at the time, and then I had a great time. It was fun. The reception was cool. Like people seemed to respond to it, and I loved it. Like just being around it. And I would go to all these cons anyway, and now it gave me like a reason to go to the cons and like hang out the whole time. And then like I don't know, it's instead of just losing all my money when I go to these things. So like And then I just started doing them more regularly, and you start to, like you guys, like you start to get to know people, and it's the highlight of my year. Like me and my family, we plan our whole year around these shows now. Like I like right now, like I manage a campground, like I live and manage at a campground in like Western Maryland, and well, like things are slow right now, so nobody can hear me, but so like that's like what I do is like my day job, but I'll be behind the desk just painting. And it's cool too. I'll get people that are coming to check into the campground and they're like, "Is that William Castle you're painting?" And I'm like, "It is William Castle I'm painting." Like, who would want a William Castle painting? And I'm like, somebody will want a William Castle painting. It'll happen. So
nice. All right, we had a couple of questions here from the group here, and a couple more recommendations that I want to throw at you here. Tarek wants to say, how about Hell House LLC?
That's another one I just recently revisited, and I really like that franchise. I did not. It kind of, I think it got, for me, it kind of buried with that like found footage boom. You know what I mean? Where there were just so many found footage movies that just kind of started all rolling into one. But yeah, I just recently, like it was like this summer, I watched that franchise too, and I thought that was actually a really cool run too. The Hell House one would be cool because you do get to follow them through the house, and then they go back.
And at least the first three is pretty much just that one location. Now you've got the fourth one that goes to the Carmichael Manor.
Somebody told me that they're actually do like haunted tours at that house?
They do. It's a legitimate
it's a haunted attraction.
Haunted attraction.
That's crazy. Is it set up like the one in the movie?
They left. I guess they left the bar area and they left part of the basement area the same, but they change it out every year. Obviously, they got to make it fresh every year. But that's what Steve said, the creator of the whole thing.
Do they have the sign? Like, does it look like the sign that they had?
We just stopped by there after
did you go?
Oaks. Yeah, we didn't get to go in, but they do have both the Hell House sign and what was the next one they had?
Oh,
it was right next to it.
Was the Abaddon Hotel sign?
Abaddon.
Yeah, maybe the Abaddon. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was a very neat experience. We wish we could have gone inside, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't contact anybody. It was like almost a last minute thing. Like it's
on the way home.
Home.
Yep. And then I guess the lady's really cool, and she'd have been. I guess probably would have dropped everything and came out to give us a fucking tour. That's how cool she is.
Yeah.
Wait, where you guys are headed? Like, where is it?
It's in Pennsylvania.
It's in Pennsylvania
really?
somewhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the town right now. Somebody will throw it in the comments here in a second.
Yeah. I always thought that was in like New England or something.
No.
No, we every time we go to a convention, we always try to find at least something nearby. I was fighting for the Exorcist steps after Oaks, but that's
3 fucking hours out of the way.
3 hours south and then back. So
have you been? You haven't been there before?
No.
It's okay.
It's okay.
When we go to Baltimore, we're going.
Yes, that's different.
The Exorcist stairs are so like I'm from this area, so like Baltimore and DC. Like I'm an hour from DC. I've been to the Exorcist stairs. It's okay. It's cool when you think about it, but it's not one of those locations that you're like, oh, like I don't know. It doesn't jump out at you the way some locations do. Like the Night of the Living Dead cemetery. Like that was like a holy shit. Like that's
dude. We almost wept at the at Blairstown.
Yep.
It was so cool. And then Dawn of the Dead airfield.
Yeah.
Seeing that shit.
I missed that.
Dude.
So stupid I missed it. I was at that show before they tore it down, and I could have gone there.
Yes.
I think it was one of you guys pointed out that it's right next to the Creep Show house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's right behind it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I was right there. I didn't know that Creep Show house was there, and I only saw that because a guy that I met at a con, who's a cool guy, mentioned that he was at the Creep Show house, and I was like, "Where is that?" And he's like, "It's like a mile from here."
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?" So that was another one that was like, I mean, it wasn't like mind blowing, but it was super cool. The owners were the coolest part. The fact that they put the prop trash can with the prop comic in it was just super cool.
Everyone can use it to hold it, to show what it is. And then that's where we saw, hey, the Dawn of the Dead airfield is up this road, turn left. It's like right here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I would say when we went to California for the Halloween 45 convention, and then we stopped off at Hollywood Forever Cemetery and got to see where they did One Dark Night. And that's my fucking jam from the 80s.
Yeah.
So, oh man, it's so good. Just going in there and seeing the shit, seeing Tommy McLaughlin's grave, which he's not inside yet. You know, he's still alive. So, but
he's got a reservation.
It was just very, very.
Did he actually get a plot there?
Oh yes.
Well, he's got a crypt.
He's got a crypt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a cool guy. He's
hangs
a really
out there.
Cool guy.
Like
he has he hosts his birthday party at his crypt every year. And I want to go so bad. July 19th. I want to go. But
we put one of our stickers on the corner of it, and I sent it to him and said, "Hey man, we were here. We stopped by. You weren't home. You know." He just
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't stick the sticker on there. We just placed it
in. Yeah.
Yeah. I met him at a show too. He actually bought, I want to say, a bunch of prints and an original from me to give as a gift for a birthday. Because he came by the table and me and my daughter were talking to him. That was when he told me, he's like, you should watch part 6 in black and white, and it's a different movie. Mm-hmm. And I'll be damned. It's a totally different movie. It's brilliant. Like I love 6, but like 6 in black and white is.
You think it's just the Frankenstein aspect to it?
Oh, it absolutely. But it really comes across because it's he's told me this. Like he's like, you know, you can make a movie black and white by just turning the color off, but like when you're shooting it with the concept of it being in black and white, you're really pushing for contrast and stuff like that, and you could tell when you watch it in black and white that he shot it with that in mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not just it's not just like black and white. Like everything's high contrast. Everything in the movie is high contrast. Like it's super bright whites and super dark shadows, like layers of contrast and patterns. Like as you're watching the movie, like if you put it in black and white, you're like, oh man, it feels like it was shot for black and white. So
shit, I'm gonna go watch it like that.
Yep.
It's cool.
Well, I think he didn't mention it when we interviewed him. He mentioned this.
Did he?
Yeah. He touched on it a little bit. You know, he was a fascinating guy for sure. Mm-hmm. And I was just, it just sucks because I had all these One Dark Knight questions, and he's kind of like, "Fuck that movie, they took it away from me," you know. So it's like, oh man, you know. But it's still his fingers all over it, you know.
Yeah, it's weird when you bump into people and you see like the movies that mean a lot to him, and then the movies that don't mean a lot to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it can be different than the way we feel. You know what I mean?
I had to let it go because he clearly did not want to discuss that too much.
Not that day, at least.
Yeah, at least not that day. You know.
One more suggestion from a viewer. BK says, "Oh my God, do the Warriors? I'm a buyer," and it's true. He is a buyer.
Will buy it. Yeah.
He will buy it.
An original.
So the Warriors one is one that I did want to do, and I found a map of it already.
Oh.
And I mean, I could do another one that I don't think the map that I saw was all that cool. Like it seemed like it didn't seem as well thought out as I would have thought it out. But they blocked the whole thing out from the Bronx coming down to. I
think as an artist who can obviously improve on this, then if you're already thinking that, you have to take this one.
Yeah,
you got to.
That's been my rule so far, and I'm not saying I won't do it, but because I love the Warriors. Like it's actually like a family favorite. Like my 12-year-old loves the movie. Like it's like awesome. My wife, she met. Well, we were all there, but I was stuck behind the booth. That's the one drawback to being a vendor is you get stuck behind the booth. You don't get to meet like all the my kids are like, hey, we met this guy, we met this guy, we met this guy, and I'm like, how cool was it? Because I was here the whole time, but like Sam Raimi.
That is one of the things I loved about your Instagram page. It's like you and a bunch of art, and then it's your family with every celebrity, and then never
exactly,
you.
Yeah, no, I can't get away, but I'm going to change that because Raimi's going to be in Cherry Hill.
Yep.
And I already got the VIP pass. That way I can quick. Oh yeah, I hear he cancels a lot. So.
Yeah.
Hey, but we saw him back to back. We saw him Texas, and then he was it was like one of those other ones we went to. He showed up at. Was that Michigan? Was that
Texas
Motor City?
Motor City.
Yeah, it was Motor City.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That would be like a home show for him, right?
Was Sam at Motor City? I thought that was
Ted. They all were. They were. Well,
yeah,
it was
Sam.
It was Ted.
Ted, Sam, and Bruce.
No, it was Texas. It was Michigan because
Bruce was there too. Bruce was
they had Ted, Sam, Bruce, and then the two from Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Right.
Oh, Dana and
Paolo.
Ray. Yeah. They're awesome too. Again, I met them almost like because I wasn't waiting in line because I was stuck behind the table, but they were at the bar at Cherry Hill and they were like loaded. And
they normally are.
Yeah, and they recognized my daughter, and then they came out. And were like, "Oh my god!" And then I just by proxy just kind of slid in, like, "Hey, how's it going? I love your show."
Yeah, she did one of the. We get a lot of IDs from celebrities. That, hey, you're watching Death Curse Society. She did one of the best of all time for us.
She's awesome.
She's all over the place and sticking the microphone in the camera and everything. It was wild.
That show was way better than it had any business being.
Oh man!
Yes.
I didn't think I was like, really, they're gonna make a show? Like, okay, that's cool. And then like the first episode, which is brilliant, it's great. But like they introduce, I'm like, I don't really care about these other two characters. I just like it's Bruce Campbell's show. Like, come on. And then like 2 episodes in, I'm 100% invested in Pablo and like Kelly. I love that show. Seasons 1 and 2 are like a gift that I can't believe we received as Evil Dead fans. You know what I mean? Like that. Right. People still complain that there's not a 4th movie. I'm like, fuck you. Like we got. What?
No, I'm just saying, like the series, man. We squandered that gift away. Like nobody appreciated it. I don't throw myself in there. I didn't have stars to watch it. I just bought it on Blu-ray when it got released to the store. Like,
we got 10 fucking movies with Dash. You know what I'm saying? It was great. Oh, and Lee Majors, perfect casting as his fucking dad, man.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and that was originally set up to be like the perfect kind of like handing the baton from Bruce to Dana and Ray, to carry on the series, but we
did. We kind of ruined it. It could have kept going. So I don't know.
Pathetic viewers that didn't want to pay extra for stars were.
We were begging people to watch it too. Just turn it on. Just turn the shit on. Just turn it on. You don't have to watch it. Just record it. Just DVR it. Whatever.
I signed up. That's all I watched on Stars. Yeah. I don't know that they had any other shows, but that's all I watched. But and then when the season was over, I would cancel Stars, and then when it came back on, I would like resubscribe, and then do the 7-day free trial. The ending though, I don't know. Like, I wasn't a huge fan of the final episode, and
it wasn't supposed to be the
end. It wasn't supposed to be the final episode though.
But clearly though, Pablo and Kelly were dead though, right?
Spoiler alert.
I don't think so.
Yeah, sorry. If you haven't seen this 10-year-old show, then yeah. Sorry. But I mean, well, maybe they weren't, but they didn't. You know what I mean? Like
I do, but
I think that was the whole point of going back in time, and everything was gonna. Who knows? Maybe he was gonna go get the wizard back again, and.
Oh, you think he could have gone back again?
I think that's where they were going with it. That's what they were saying. They've all said it. They've all said that it was going back. Oh yeah, it was. The next season was going back to the medieval times again.
There was a plan for season 4.
Absolutely.
That's even more heartbreaking.
Oh, right. Crushing, because I think they would have rallied back with that one. It was going to get really silly.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Man, that's really disappointing. I didn't know that. I thought that ending, they knew that they were canceled, and they were like, fuck it, we're just going to do something weird at the very end. You know what I mean?
No, that's David Lynch that does that.
Ask Dana and Ray about it, too. They'll tell you the same thing when you see him next time.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. That's like when I found out that, was it David Arquette didn't want to die. Oh, I did it again.
Yeah.
I didn't say what movie it was. I didn't say what movie it was. But when I found out he didn't want to die, that they were like, oh, I guess you were done. He's like, no, I didn't want to die. It was like, oh, that sucks.
He said it was like an annual, a guaranteed big paycheck.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true, yeah.
So he was into it, So, yeah, he confirmed that, too. That was Monster Mania. We talked about that one.
That's for a major franchise, that is a major hiccup in a major franchise. Like franchise altering, I think. Like if the franchise does not continue to move forward, I think it's very much because of what they did with that character. Like he shouldn't have gone out the way he did. It was a huge mistake, I think.
Mm-hmm. What do you think they're going to do now that their main stars are gone? Do you think they're going to go back to and pull some shit? Maybe bring back Stu? Maybe bring back Nev again?
I think Stu is. I think I'm 100% confident they're going to back the truck up to Nev Campbell's house and just be like, whatever you need, it's a blank check. But I do think they're going to bring Stu back. I think
it would be cool.
I think they're going to bring him back in a Cotton Weary role. That's my thing. Like they're going to introduce him that after the events of the first movie, he did survive, and they wanted to keep him out of the limelight and blah blah blah. And then he'll kind of reintroduce himself, and you'll think he's a villain through the whole film, and then he won't be, and he could probably fill that void, that giant void they left when they killed Dewey. That because he'll be not the same character, because Dewey was really lovable and Stu was the murderer, but he can still be that goofy kind of character that I think the franchise needs, that they're trying to fill with the core 4, which just isn't happening. Yeah. And then now the core 4 is the core 2 now. I guess
2 main ones.
Yeah, the core 2, the ones that no one remembers their names.
Exactly. Yeah, which they were great. I like those.
Yeah, they were.
Are there? But
I know Jenna Ortega's the one. That's the right.
Well, I'm talking about the other 2.
The other 2.
Not Jenna Ortega or Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, the sisters are gone, and then the other 2 were just. Even though I like those characters, I do I like the. I guess they were. What they were? What's his name's? Niece and nephew.
They totally rebooted it. They had a sequel going. And it looks like they were going to continue that shit. So I mean, they were content with going along with it. So
who were they related to?
Randy.
Randy.
No. Wasn't it? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, no,
they were
Randy's. It was Randy's niece and nephew.
Because the one was Billy's daughter.
The other one was. But no, I think they're going to bring him back, and I think Nev Campbell's going to come back. If they don't pay Nev Campbell, they should just shutter the franchise. So
they need to.
They won't. It'll be Scream 7 starring Courtney Cox.
Yeah, right.
Stacey Lee mentioned it's Leeton, Pennsylvania, where the Abaddon house is.
Oh, cool. All right.
If you're ever in the area, check it out.
You are.
Yeah, I'm saying it can't be far from me.
Yeah.
Wait, is that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Or it may be Lee Heighton. I think I said it wrong.
I was gonna say, is that near the Mahoning?
Yeah, it is a Mahoning. Or
really?
it's the
Mahoning Drive-In.
What do they call it? The Waldorf Estate of Fear is what this place is called.
No, I mean, but is that near the Mahoning Drive-In?
Oh,
it's very close.
Yeah, we saw signs all over for it.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the Mahoning. I didn't know that place was there.
You may have driven right by it because it's on one of those roads. If you're not looking for it, you'll miss it. Exactly.
Two-lane highway.
Like the first movie.
That's crazy.
All right, let me get back to some of our real questions here.
It's great.
Oh, no. This is what happens.
This is what happens. We go down all kinds of rabbit holes in this motherfucker. It's great.
Absolutely. As an artist, we've shared the link, and Faze, if you'll do it again, we've shared the link for your Etsy store. Do you find Etsy to be your best outlet for creative work such as yours? And did you ever try any other online outlets, or perhaps your own website? And how do those differ for?
So, definitely a no as far as Etsy goes. Etsy has a huge community, which is super cool, but Etsy's fees are getting really out of control.
Not just them, bro.
Well, that's true. I just sold. It's funny. It was cool, but it was this guy in England bought a print, and he used like one of those offsite ads, which is awesome. Which is why I'm still on Etsy, because if you like Google things, like I'll show up on Google, which is weird that I'm just this little guy, and like I'll show up on like the, that's awesome, which is why I stay on Etsy. But like he bought something through an offsite ad, and I did the math when it was all done, and I lost 20 cents on the sale. Not only did I not make any money on it, it cost me like a quarter but it was awesome that the guy in England wanted it. So I was like, man, that's awesome. But I'm like, man, I got to fix my prices here. Like, it was like, I can't be losing money on a sale. Like, that's crazy. But
did you ever try any other places like Etsy?
So
locking them?
I like went down the Redbubble one, and then there was a Redbubble, and then there's another one that's similar to Redbubble. There's so much bootleg stuff on Redbubble, and I can't remember the name of the other one. And I'm not trying to talk crap about Redbubble, but like there's so much bootleg stuff that it bothers me. And like at least I think Etsy does maybe a slightly better job of like monitoring or like the stuff they sell. Like the idea that like you can have another artist and like scan his artwork and then sell it on Redbubble as your own.
Yeah.
There's so much of that. Like so I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. It just feels weird. And then like, I know it's a matter of time before I'll see that happen with me. A lot of the other artist vendors I talk to, they're like, it's going to happen, Nick. Like you're going to be at a show and see your stuff at somebody else's table and be like, what are you doing? And they'll be, oh, whoops. So I'll take that down. I forgot. Like, and it's like, okay, cool. That actually happened to me once. I don't know.
I was gonna say, didn't a celebrity do that?
It did, but I don't want to slander celebrities. So it did, but that was my one. And I love that guy and I love that movie. So I don't want to talk shit about it. But my wife made me take my poster down. She's like, fuck that dude. Fuck that movie.
Damn, man.
Yeah. It's a great movie though. But yeah, so Redbubble was weird. I thought about doing my own web page, like my own website, but I think there is, for whatever it's worth, Etsy is cool because it has such a large community and so many people. It is synonymous with like, hey, you know, you'll go if you're looking for something like for like a cool gift or artwork, you'll go to like different places, but Etsy is one of those places that people check out a lot. So I'd like to have a presence on Etsy, but I don't. Most of my sales do not come through Etsy. I'm like maybe 90% at shows and like 10% on Etsy. So
wow.
It's starting to change a little bit. I'll be honest with you, and it may be a coincidence. I don't know, but since you guys posted that link, the last couple of days have been pretty good days on Etsy. I'll say that.
That's it's something that usually people sell a couple of things when they come on with us, you know.
Yeah.
Our audience is hungry and apparently has disposable income. So
that must be nice. Yeah.
It always seems, you know, one of us at least, you know, especially if somebody new comes into the chat or whatever, that person is like, hey, what is a particular thing behind you on the wall? Where did you get that? I want to get, you know, we're like, oh, this one. Oh yeah. Blah, 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 you know? So, I mean, that happens at least once a month, you know.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, thank you. So. Yeah, I see like two behind both of you. That's awesome. So thank you.
Hey, that burning skull. That just takes me right back to watching that movie, and I love that scene and that setup of how that guy becomes what he is, and it just, to me, it's just perfect, man. I had to have it.
Well, thank you. I love that movie. That was a movie. We probably already said this, but like that I came too late. I didn't see until like 10 years ago. Like I was late to the Burning party. Like people were like, hey, have you seen The Burning? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't even heard of that.
What movie. A treat to see it.
It was awesome. Yeah. I figured it was because of like when I went back and looked at the box art, the box that we had at my video store was this like just shittiest box art. It was just like a guy on fire. It just said like The Burning and had a guy on fire.
Yeah.
And like the box art was everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like if the box art sucked, you didn't rent that movie. You know what I mean? Like it was like, and then you'd rent something that had terrible box art. But I mean, it had great box art, but it was a shit movie, but you'd watch it.
I rented everything. So, I mean, The Burning obviously got grabbed into that. I obviously was like, oh, raise that one. You know, it stood above many back then.
It's really good. It's weird that it took, I mean, for me, it took a while, but like it doesn't get like the credit that a lot of the other summer camp slashers do. Like, I think it's probably every time you rank movies, you don't want to piss people off or get into trouble, but I think it's probably a better movie than Sleepaway Camp. And I don't know if you guys are like,
I agree.
I like Sleepaway Camp.
I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp's ending is unbelievable. The ending it's iconic. It's one of the great endings in I mean, especially 80s slasher history, but like maybe great horror endings of all time. But The Burning as a whole, I think, is probably a stronger movie, I think, than But Sleepaway Camp, everybody knows. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Sleepaway Camp when I was like 14. You know what I mean? So like,
The Burning, that's when Savini started, you know what I mean, really going off too. I mean, really with some crazy shit.
Burning and The Prowler, I think, is Savini's best work. Even though I think The Burning's a better movie, but
The Prowler had better.
The Prowler.
Man, that axe to the head. Holy shit.
So good. That was another one. I was doing some Prowler sketches, and this fucking waxwork, and I love waxwork. Like the work the final artwork, all those guys are brilliant. They're super talented, but like multiple times I'm like doing sketches. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna do it, and it was almost identical to the Prowler soundtrack that came out. I'm like, fuck, and I was like, well, I guess that one's out the window. Like,
I got a weird question for you, because I get to experience this with these guys from time to time when we're doing our shopping at conventions. How do you feel when you have someone that spots something at your booth, and then you can, if they stay there, you can watch the struggle go through their face and their mind, like going through the math, like, okay, I've spent this much so far, I have this much left. I had to do this with him with that burning painting last month.
We had a whole discussion walking down 2 aisles before we came back.
It was hysterical. It's hysterical, and I love watching it with these guys.
Because we always know where the end result's going to be. It's going to end up in a bag right next to me walking out. We know this.
Are you aware of the people going through that in front of you, or do you relish in those moments?
I relish it only because, and again, this might sound super pretentious, but like when I paint stuff because I think it's cool, and inevitably it's like, you know, it's kind of like fish. Like I'm like, I don't know if anybody else is gonna like this. I have no idea. Maybe somebody will think it's cool. Maybe they won't. It's something that I think is cool. So when it gets a reaction from people, like, I don't know, like, and again, maybe I just, like, when I was younger, like, you know, the world felt a lot smaller, like the internet's changed everything, but it was like, you know, like those movies felt super personal. You know what I mean? All the stuff felt super personal. It felt like it was happening for me, to me. Like it's like most of these movies I would watch by myself or maybe with my brother, and like it was like this tiny little world. And like these movies, it's like no one talks about these movies. This is before, you know, I went to cons and stuff. So like it all still feels super intimate. So like when you see something that means a lot to you, and then someone else is just like, oh, like just it means a lot to them. It just, that's the part that I really relish. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I saw that from across the whole convention floor we were walking up, dude. I just went, man, god damn it! I did exactly what he was saying. I was going, I already spent.
It was crazy. That burning one too, I've had for a while.
I know you had it in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, and I was like, that was almost one of those that I was going to stop putting out anymore. Like it was just going to get retired and go back to my room. Nope. And it was how that's like that happens, and I love it. It's great. I love it when they find good homes, and it's also, it doesn't happen very often, but it's also equally painful when I sell one that I feel like is not going to a good home. If it's like someone that, and I've had a couple experiences with that, but again, I gotta be, like I said before, you know, I'm used to talking to a lot of people, but usually those conversations go with the wind, you know, but so, yeah. So, but there have been maybe I can think of 2 instances where I was like, man, and prints are different. There's something really special about people that buy originals. And it's special about that purchase, you know what I mean? Like, and there's 2 originals that like, I wish that I had back. Like, I wish I had said, I think I'm gonna hold on to that one. Like, you know, it's just, and it sounds like, you know, stupid, because it's awesome that the person was interested in my artwork and willing to, you know, hard-earned money to buy something that I created. Like, but there's 2 that I'm like, oh man, it felt like it was going to the wrong home. It was like a person like didn't know the movie, like didn't get the reference, didn't appreciate. Yeah, it was weird, and it was painful. Yeah.
Why did they want it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't want to, because again, I appreciate the sale, but there was like, oh, I like boats, and I was like, that was the, and I'm like, do you know what boat that is? It's like, I like boats.
I like boats.
I like boats. Okay, Jesus.
Yeah, but again, I appreciate it. Was
hopefully
awesome,
hopefully he's not using it as the top of like a bedside table and putting his beer bottles on.
I don't know. Maybe
with no coaster.
I'm sure it's hanging up next to a perfect picture of a lighthouse they bought at Dollar General.
That was exactly what I thought. I was like, it's in somebody's nautical bathroom. That's what I was like. Yeah.
No, it's you know what? It's a guy who truly loves boats, and he has several works from several great artists from around the world.
Okay, yeah.
And yours hangs right in there and right with him. So let's go with that one.
All right, well, good. I'll take that. Yeah.
Colonel, won't you hit question 9?
Question 9. All right. So sorry. I'm so enamored with that picture of a fucking lighthouse we've all seen a million times.
Oh,
Yep.
I want to draw that now.
I'll do that one from the fog. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Do the fog lighthouse with the boat next to it.
I'll buy it.
I like lighthouse.
Nick, when did you first start taking your art to a convention, and how have you changed your approach to your craft as the years have gone by?
The first show I did, I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing shows for 7 years.
Okay.
I started slower. I just did the Monster Manias, and then I started kind of expanding, and then now I think the farthest I've been is North Carolina. I've been trying to get into Cinema Wasteland. I can't get into Cinema Wasteland. I think you guys know that show, right? Or you're Cincinnati, or it's a Cleveland show though. But like,
yeah,
we've
heard of it, but
I've been trying to get into Horror Hound. I can't get into Horror Hound. I want to get into Horror Hound so bad.
Keep trying, because you never know. All of a sudden, they're going to be like, "Hey, you're in."
Yeah.
You never know.
And like I said, the Horror Hound, they expanded the convention center they use outside of Cincinnati.
Finally.
And I know that supposedly they're going to have 2 shows next year in Cincy instead of 1 in Indy, so you might be able to get on one of those shows. I would just keep trying.
Yeah. Keep applying, man.
It's one of those like I keep sending like can I be on the waiting list? Can I be on the waiting list? Can I be on the waiting list? Like, Steel City's another one. I try to get into Steel City, but Steel City's not a horror show, and because I'm very like all I do is horror. Like I don't have like a separate comic book or like superhero setup. Like I don't know that I would. I've only done 2 Comic-Cons before, like pop culture shows, and they didn't go well. I mean, they didn't go bad, but it's not like I like this, like talking with you guys, and then like talking with people that like I was just saying, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that's Prom Night 2. You know what I mean? I fucking love that movie. And then the pop culture shows, it's a little more like, hey, do you have any pictures of Freddy? And it's like, maybe, Freddy's awesome. You know what I mean? But But
we always say it's the heavy music and the horror fans are the coolest and the most knowledgeable, and prove me wrong.
It's crazy too is that like remember that like whole period where we were also the worst, like the horror movie, violent video games, heavy metal music, like we were like the dregs, like these kids are up to no good. We've all grown up to be. And I think the coolest people, the nicest people, like, you know what I mean? It's all the people that were like, the normal people that were the people you got to worry about. Like, you know what I mean? Like the rest of us, like, I remember like after like the Columbine thing happened, they were all like, they would bring all my friends up and like, they were like questioning them, like, and my friends are like the nicest people on earth. And it was like, question, like, what does that mean? Like, I hate that stereotype.
Yeah, That was rough growing up, but I had to deal with that crap too. It was like metalhead, and I'm just a big fucking teddy bear, dude. I just like violent forms of entertainment. I don't mean anything. I'll give you a hug, but I want a headbang right after. Like,
yeah, exactly. I hate that stereotype. It's this like white trash breeds hate and the poor people in heavy metal and Mortal Kombat makes you a bad person. Like. I freaking hate that.
If you're not being criticized by a congressional hearing, you're not living life right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I relish that badge when I come from the late '80s into the '90s, and it was like, man, long hair and ripped jeans. We didn't give a fuck. Yeah. So I mean, they would look at us, the blue hairs, and clutch the pearls and all that. But look at us. We're all fine. We're all pretty even keeled and pretty laid back.
I probably more even keeled and laid back than like the other people. You know what I mean? Like that's just been my experience. So there's the people I trust more.
It's the way I fucking see it. Yeah.
Well,
Rick, what was the second half of that? okay.
Well, I was going to say Rick from the Whole Damn Enchilada Pod. He mentions he's from Cleveland and he wanted to vend at Cinema Wasteland, and they emailed him. So get on the email list. They'll hit you up hopefully.
I'm on. Did they just do it? Because I'm on their list.
Just keep hammering them, I guess.
Yeah, I will.
And
I guess I'll just keep. Thank you.
You'll get it, man.
I will admit, I'm glad to hear that there's somebody else out there that can't get a return email from Horror Hound, though. That is nice. That is nice to know.
Yeah. Rick's good.
Oh, you guys are trying to too?
Well,
we had a booth once, and then but they haven't hired us to do our thing yet. And we absolutely would have. I mean, now the schedule's getting kind of full, so you're gonna have to speak up soon if it's gonna happen.
You guys have been to the show as like guests, right? Though.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never been there.
Horror Hound since it came about.
You will kill there. You will kill.
Oh, dude,
you will slay.
Yep.
It's ass cracks and nut sacks, man. Of people you're walking through. You'll make some money, man.
There's lots of artists, but dude, you're gonna stand out. Don't worry.
I think that's their official slogan too, is ass cracks and nut sacks.
Yeah, it's on the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Smells like it anyway.
That's a good show then. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. What was the here we go. For how many conventions do you do a year as a vendor at least? And then for those that may be new or curious about taking their artistic works to a convention, what kind of advice would you give to a first-time vendor?
I did 14 last year, which was the most I've ever done. I'm trying to do at least 14 this year, but I'm trying to, a couple of the ones I did, like I did like a Comic-Con or it was like a pop culture con that I probably won't do again, but I'm trying to add like shows that like I try to add shows that I think are like cool shows. Like it's not even really a money thing. It's like if I'm at a show that I don't like, that I don't really like I don't want to be there. Like if I wouldn't want to be there as an attendee, I don't want to be there as a vendor either. Mm-hmm. But then there'll be a show that like is a cool show, and maybe I'm not like doing really great, money wise, but like it's just a cool show. I'm still happy to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's been a couple shows, like as long as I'm not losing money, which like I've been super lucky. Like I have never, except for one show that was the Joe Bob Jamboree, the first one that they had at the drive-in.
Oh wow!
It was like a huge storm, and it like I lost everything. Like all my maps. It was like the first show I actually ever brought my maps to. Like I lost all my maps. Like you know how I have them in these plastic things now. I used to have them just on a table. Well, at least at that show I did. Storm came through. It was like an outdoor event. I lost originals. I lost all my prints. I lost all my maps. Like everything got like landed in a mud puddle. Like all these people coming up, holding the tent together. It's like I'm trying to hold the paintings back. It was a freaking mess.
Jesus.
But other than that show, I've been really lucky that I've never lost money. So that's been really cool. But I keep like I do it as economically as possible. Like I don't just do the shows. Like I'll talk to a lot of vendors, and vendors are awesome. It's a really cool. It's like a community. You know what I mean? It's like a family, like the vendors. And I really like a lot of the vendors, but I don't look at it strictly as a business quite the way that a lot of the vendors do. And I think that maybe I could do a better job on the business side, but then I would sacrifice what I love about it. So I don't necessarily want to do that. Like I've had a lot of vendors like try to give me advice like, hey, if you did something like this, it would sell really well. Or if you did something like this, it would sell really well. But anytime like I go into it thinking like, hey, this is going to sell really well, I feel like it sucks, or like I feel like I don't do a very good job at it. Like there have been times like, oh, I know there's a big show coming up, I should do a painting from that, and I'll just like force myself to paint something even if I don't really like it, and then I don't feel good about the painting feels fake, it doesn't feel cool, like it just doesn't have like what I was looking for.
Right.
So but yeah, I'm trying to add more shows, but I'm trying to improve the quality of my show more so than just add new shows. You know what I mean? That's why I want to go to Horror Hound, because I hear it's a freaking awesome show. I want to go. I'm willing to travel farther now to hit these cool shows. So.
Don't say travel farther too much, because Bill is trying to get you to go to Morgan Crypt, which is in New Mexico.
Oh my God! I can't. Yeah. Mad Monster Party has a Arizona show that I would love because Mad Monster Party, they run a great. Have you guys been to their show in North Carolina?
We have not yet.
Nope.
That's worth your time. It was a pleasant surprise. It is a fantastic show. They also do the Famous Monsters show. The first time they had that this year.
Right.
They did the Famous Monsters show.
That was the one with Ozzy recently.
They did.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not judging them based on that. Ozzy's awesome, but like $666 just to get an autograph is like
a lot.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Especially when you got it for free, like fucking in '91. You know.
I think with them, I think they were kind of forced into that price range. I don't know that was their decision, but I love Famous Monsters magazine. I love the guys, the Mad Monster guys. I love I'm doing that show this year, thank God. So the only reason
go ahead.
I said the only reason I didn't do the show this year was because that was that clusterfuck of shows like they had.
It was booked on top of like a Monster Mania and then a couple other things, right?
A Richmond show. There was a Comic-Con. It was like that weekend where there was 4 different shows, all 4 that I would have loved to go to. That I was like, man, don't do this again. But they won't do it again. So
Here's hoping.
We've heard of them. I'm pretty sure they've heard of us. We haven't actually formally met yet, though. But they're on the radar. We'll see what happens.
If you can fly, right?
Oh yeah.
Wait. But one of you doesn't fly, right?
I have to drive. If we're doing our game show, I have to drive because I have a trunk load of game show gear.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
Frank's the designated.
I'm the DD.
Driver. He's the man.
That would be a hike for you, I guess. North Carolina, yeah.
Oh, dude, I drive all over the damn country. I'm from Oklahoma,
coast to coast. This guy.
So,
all right,
yeah. We did Cherry Hill, and a month later we were in Pasadena. So,
okay, that'll work.
As long as I don't have to drive over the ocean, we're good. Let's go.
Hey, anything's possible. Anything's on the table, man. Anybody that'll have us, we're coming.
And I'm not sure I'm allowed in Canada, so that might be a problem for now. But I'm working on that. Ziggy, hit number 12 there if you can.
Well, I sure can. I lost all the questions there for a minute, but they're back. All right, meeting you and your family over there at the con. You're a family man with at least a couple of kids. How do you balance time for work, your artistic endeavors, and have quality time with the family?
I think I do pretty good.
Get the car. We're going to a con. No.
Yeah. It's funny. I would say we kind of plan our whole year around these shows. Like it's stuff that we all 4 get excited about. It was funny. I was just at my brother-in-law's house and we were talking about movies we had seen recently. And like my kids was like, yeah, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that. Yeah, we haven't seen that. They're like, but we just watched Better Watch Out, which, by the way, I thought was fantastic. Have you seen Better Watch Out?
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yeah, I really did not see that movie coming, and I won't spoiler alert that one, but like that, I thought that was fantastic. They just watched Christmas Evil for the first time, which was like they thought was great. I love that movie so much.
Dude, I literally just showed that to my oldest daughter last weekend. Not this one, but the weekend before last for the first time.
She like it?
Oh, dude, yeah, she liked it. I was like, it's a little slow, I'm not sure if you're going to like it. But no, she really dug it, man. I don't think it's her favorite.
Yeah.
But she liked it, and it replaced Krampus. I was like, thank goodness. If I watch Krampus one more time. I like it, but
I feel bad because and I don't make them watch. You know what I mean? Like that was a big thing with my kids. I'm like, I'm not gonna make you watch horror movies, because you meet people. They're like, yeah, I don't watch horror movies. I watched The Exorcist when I was a kid, and it scared me. Now I hate horror movies, and I don't want to do that to my kids. So but sometimes I do kind of feel like I've commandeered the television and all we watch. It's whatever holiday is, it's what Valentine's Day horror movie are we going to watch? I took my 12-year-old to go see Thanksgiving, and I was she was the only 12-year-old in the theater. It was I feel to some degree, but I don't I still curate stuff. I'll check the parents' guide to make sure there's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 daughters, so female nudity is not a thing, but I got to make sure there's not the other kind of nudity.
So let me ask you this. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like you. I don't force horror onto my daughters. They're 14 and 6. The 6-year-old has seen the Monster Squad, and Bride of Frankenstein. That's about it. My My 14-year-old
in the Green Inferno.
Yeah, and the Green.
Oh my God.
But my 14-year-old, she's always been into horror. About 9 years old was when she showed an interest, and she was mature for her age, so we started showing stuff. But as a kid, the nude scene came up, I was told close my eyes. Did you ever catch yourself at first saying close your eyes to your oldest daughter just because out of like muscle memory from when you were a kid?
Yes. No, I have. Yeah, I absolutely. I'll do that, or like pausing. I mean, not pausing, because when I was a kid, like you didn't like it was the television, so like so I would just mute it, but that doesn't help when there's something horrible happening on screen that they're not ready to see. It's like, oh, it's just silent now, but it's still terrible. But like, no, I absolutely do that. Like, close your eyes, like that's somehow going to make it better. But
yeah,
it's
funny. My oldest daughter's was like, eventually when she was about 12, was like, why did you tell me to close my eyes? It's a girl. Like, I'm like, you got a point. So
no, I do that. I still to this day, for some reason, I'll shout bad words out when people are about to cuss. Like just like when there's bad language, I'm like, bad words. And it's like, I don't know. And my daughter's in high school. She's like, Dad, like I hear way worse than everything from this movie in the 80s every single day. You don't have to shout bad words every single time someone says fuck. Like you're like, it's like, but I can't stop it. I can't turn it off. So
that's hysterical.
I got good with my son. Like, I obviously know these movies, and I'm showing him a lot of these things. The first time when we started, he was like 7 years old, and we watched, like, I was showing him some heavy stuff like Friday the 13th 4. But then I would go to YouTube and go, now watch. Here's them setting the scene up with the makeup and the pumps and the rubber and everything. And he was like, they're pretending, and I was like, yeah. So he got it. He got it right away. So I've been showing him these things, but. If there's some boobs or some nudity and stuff, I'm good at just kind of going like, hey, did you brush your teeth today? Did you leave the TV on? Go see real quick. And it runs off, doesn't even know what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Nice. Yeah, I remember my dad, I remember he did that to me. He was like, when I was young and there'd be something scary. I think it was probably Trilogy of Terror. He's like, always remember, right when the movie seems like it's the scariest, somebody yells cut, and then everybody stops, and then they all have a beer, and they start laughing about what they were doing. And I remember that vividly. Like, that was one of those, like, every other weekend things with my dad, but like it stuck with me. It was just like, oh yeah, that's a cool. I still think of that to this day. Like, they take the rubber mask off and they just sit there and have a beer. So
it's a good visual to have to go along with the frightening stuff.
Yeah.
Shit, I used to know though. I would see the Fangoria magazines, the making of a movie, and then I would go see it, and it would still fuck me up. It would get me. It would draw me in, and I was in there. And it didn't matter that I knew it was fake.
That might be the thing that worries me most about like younger audiences is that like they don't get rattled real easily. Like I watched The Exorcist with and she was probably 14 at the time, and I waited. Like I'm like, you can't watch this. And like she's like, I'm ready to watch it. I'm like, nah, you need more time. And then finally I was like, all right, we can watch The Exorcist. And she was bored. Like straight up bored. Dude. Did not scare her in the slightest bit. Like,
dude, I know like my oldest daughter for years can watch The Exorcist with you. Like you, like to me, that's the most terrifying film ever fucking made. No, you gotta be older. I kept putting it off. Finally, 14, I'm like, you know what, I think you're old enough.
That's what I did, yeah.
I'm like, but I can't watch it with you for one particular scene. And we all know the crucifix. That to me, I'm like, I can't do it. If you want to watch it, you're going to watch it on your own, but yeah, I'm not watching it. So she watched it the next day. I'm like, so what'd you think? That was boring. It wasn't even scary.
Yes.
What?
Yes. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I think I have a theory on it.
Go ahead.
I grew up in a household. Getting real grand here. I grew up in a household that was pretty religious. Church was a thing. Like we went to church, and like, the devil was a very real entity. It was like, like it wasn't, like I think my kids grew up more with this sense of like the devil is like the boogeyman or Santa Claus. Like that didn't seem real. So the idea of like demonic possession to my kids is like witches and warlocks and magic. It didn't seem real at all. So the idea that like someone's possessed by the devil, it's like, oh, someone's possessed by Santa Claus. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like that it just didn't have any weight to it. So I was like, man, but that ruins a lot of really scary movies. Like Rosemary's Baby is just out the window. Like,
Look where it has gone now. These days, the kids are, it's got to be, it's an unknown paranormal entity. It's a doll, a possessed doll.
You know what got her? The one movie that got her was the Blair Witch Project. Of all the movies, the only movie I've ever had to stop. Like, she's like, "Can you pause it?"
I mean,
like,
wow.
That means she's got the vivid mind.
She's thinking inside. Yeah.
She was just like, there's some, like, there was like they were all like, it was Heather was screaming and like they were lost. They lost the map, but it wasn't even like the nighttime shot. It was one of the daytime shots. I think it was right when they had lost Josh, and they were like trying to find him, and she was just like, "Hold up." She's like, "This just feels too real." It just it was the only time she's ever asked me to pause a movie, and it blew my mind. I was like, "Wow, the Blair Witch Project of all movies."
That's impressive.
I thought so too.
We get to meet those folks in Atlanta. I can't.
Well, one of them, Heather, I think, is the
Oh, that's right. Just her. Yeah.
She's doing shows again?
She's doing a couple at least.
A couple.
So
she's out of hiding.
But yeah, we've heard she's still on the fence about doing the show. So I'm kind of wondering if she's going to cancel.
I would love So I live like a half a mile from Burkittsville. Like Burkittsville is the closest town to me. And they had that screening. It was the first time they'd ever screened the movie in public in Burkittsville before. And like Eduardo Sanchez came. It's the first time I ever got to meet him, which was really cool. But they're hoping to do it again this year because this year is some kind of anniversary, right?
99.
90
to 24.
So the 35th?
Oh, so yeah.
Oh my God, is it
25th?
25th.
Yeah, 25th, 25.
God, that makes me feel super old. But anyhow, they're hoping to do a screening there for that, and like I didn't know she was doing shows. That's awesome if they could do that.
She's doing Atlanta, or she's scheduled for Atlanta Days of the Dead right now. So
all three of them are doing one before that, though.
I think
really?
Horror Hound in March, I think.
That's it, Horror Hound in March.
Man, I want to get into that show so bad. Just a heads up, I'm at 4%.
No, okay. Well,
oh crap.
All right, let's get it wrapped up here.
I could try to find a plug real quick.
You want to find a plug real quick?
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Yeah, if Hopefully you can, that would be great because we still got a little bit of time here.
Hopefully it doesn't go like that did when I was looking for the headphones.
I will throw this comment up because one thing you said earlier, Tarek says, Nick's "you can fly right" question hit him like none of you are on a watch list, right?
Well, I mean, I was kind of thinking like, well, not like, literally, like.
Yeah. Metaphorically, you guys.
We can fly, but
it was a drug reference, what it was.
Technically, I mean,
well, you.
Yeah, I'm flying perpetually.
Well, like I always
we'll have to ship your smoke to you later.
Yes.
I always think about it with people. Like, because as a vendor, I can't fly. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to do the shows in California. They look like awesome shows, but like, I don't have that. Like, I don't know how I would do that. I don't know how I get my stuff out there. And then driving would take me, even if I drove nonstop, it would be like 2.5 days.
Yeah, Craig. How long is it? About 2 days, right?
From Oklahoma to Pasadena was 23 hours, if I remember correctly.
Oh my God,
Jesus.
And
no stopping?
Oh no, I mean I stopped, but I mean I think I stayed the night in Albuquerque and then like went the rest of the way. So I mean it took me 2 days to get there.
That's crazy.
But
yeah,
and that was just from the middle of the country. So you got to add another 2 days on top of that from your side. So
yeah,
that is one of the benefits of living in Oklahoma. I am kind of like centrally located to everything.
Yeah, so you're like 2 days away from either coast if you need to be. So
right.
Those West Coast ones are tough, man. For me and the Colonel, but
yeah, it's a haul.
It's what we got to do.
Right. All right. You plugged in?
I am, but it says it's charging, but I'm now at 3%.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll hold up.
Yeah, I'll go as long as I can.
All right, man. Well,
my phone has a much better charger, but I can't plug this into my phone. So
I got you. Well, if we lose you, then we lose you, and we appreciate your time. So, but
yeah, dude.
When we talked in Oaks this last time, you mentioned one of your daughters had filmed like some kind of a short film.
Yeah.
So sounds like your kids are interested in art. And how do you encourage that as a parent?
So
since
be honest
you were interested in film too, so that helps.
I guess it's like, you can't manufacture the interest. So like I have to, like, they have to show the interest, and there's like some stuff they're interested in that I'm like on board, and sometimes they're not, but I don't want to like steer that ship. So like I want them to kind of go down the path that they want to go down, but at the same time, like when they made the movie, I was like, I know how difficult it can be to get locations, so I made sure my buddy helped us out a lot. He had this like, cabin that's like falling apart in the woods. It was awesome. It was a perfect location for a movie. Made sure she had the right blood, made sure she had all the right pieces, and I just kind of made sure like the transportation wasn't an issue, and like kind of prefaced it like, hey, it's going to be sticky, it's going to be messy, we're going to get there early, you're going to be there late, things aren't going to go well, lights are going to go out, things are going to suck. But like going into it, like I'd like to think that I made that process as painless as possible, because they were fucking awesome. Like the whole team of them, they were like smiling and having a good time. Like that kind of youthful enthusiasm was so much fun to just be around, especially like I said, as you get older, it's harder to get people excited to do stuff. And then watching these kids just like, I want more blood on me, like squirt fake blood all over the walls, like just like, oh no, I'm not bloody enough. Like it was awesome being around it. And then from art, like just watching both of my kids are actually talented. My youngest doesn't seem to show as much interest in it, but she's talented. But my oldest, she's in this like specific school, and she's just super talented. Just like, giving her support, and like also at the same time being critical, because like I would, if anything, I would say like that one of the toughest things, my mom was like super supportive of me, like any kind of art, like any, like everything, but maybe like too supportive. Like it was like, everything you do is great. Like, hey, that, and it's like, I maybe didn't push myself as much as I probably could have. Like I didn't, like I walked away from art, like as soon as I graduated, like it just was like, I'm just going to go filmmaking route. Like I probably should have stuck at it, but like, I want to make sure she's like, I mean, she's super gifted, but at the same time, like I can't just be like, everything you do is amazing. You know what I mean? I'll be like, you should fix that nose, or it looks like you're starting to repeat yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, my mom was real honest. Every now and then I would get one of these, like, you could do better.
Yeah.
Okay, mom.
I have to do. Sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll just be like, it's good, but like there's certain things she's really talented at. Well, that's the other thing too, is that some of it she's like, a lot of art now is a lot of digital art. Like kids will just be drawing on iPads and stuff like that, which is awesome. It's not, I'm not criticizing that, but it's not something that I have a background in. Like I've tried to, and it's alien to me. It's like, I don't know how to, like, give me a paintbrush and I can make it all work. But it just feels so disposable. It feels like, you touch a screen 2 times and it just disappears. You can, what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel real. But like she's really good at like finishing and polishing. She's with shading and lighting and stuff like that. And I'm like, she can make what is maybe sometimes not as good a drawing as I know she's capable of. She can make it look amazing with the finishes. And I'm like, hey, look, I know you're good at finishing. Like, the right lighting and the right images. I was like, yeah, but don't forget the core image here. Like you're the framework of what you're trying to put together. Like you could do a better job.
Yeah. What is the name of that short film she did? And is it on YouTube somewhere that we could watch it?
It was on, I think so. It's called White Rose. I mean, we put it on Instagram, but I can't remember if we just put the short on Instagram. Yes, no, it is. It is available on. It's on. If you look up either the Frederick. My daughter just texted me. It is on YouTube. So it means she's watching. It is on YouTube, and it's called White Rose. And if you look up Frederick 72 Film Festival or Frederick 72 Fest,
okay,
you'll have all the entries. But she
won an award. Can you check that out?
Yeah,
Faze, if you find that link, let us know.
She won an award.
Oh,
nice!
Good for her.
They won a music award. Yeah, it's crazy. They were the youngest group. They were the only group that was all high school kids. all students.
Well,
and they
that's
won.
it. They got it now. They're
Yeah, they got that bug now.
They're
Yeah.
bitten.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so
Well,
cool.
We'll get kind of pretty close to the end here, but
Yeah.
what's been your favorite film that you've seen this last year? Any films from 2023 that sparked your fancy? And then how about the last 10 years?
So from 2023,
Mm-hmm.
like not something I saw for the first time this year.
No.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Just something from this year that was released this year, I guess.
I like Thanksgiving a lot.
Okay.
What else came out this year?
Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, I like Evil Dead Rise more than Thanksgiving.
Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
It is.
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good.
For Dracula movies, it's fucking strong.
Evil
What
Dead
was the
Rise
name
is
of
gonna be pretty hard to beat.
What was the name of that film fest that you were talking about with the White Rose?
Frederick 72 Fest.
Yeah.
Frederick 72. That's what it was. All right.
Wait, what was the movie about the girl that works for the British video nasties? It was set in the 80s. She like works for the what?
Censor?
Yes, was that this year?
I think that was last year, actually. But
All right, never mind. Well, then that
That's
would have
good,
been
though.
it. I love that movie.
Yeah. All right. How about in the last 10 years? Like something that really got your attention and something over the last 10 years or so.
That would take me to 2013. Would that? I mean, there's an obvious answer. Of course, I don't know. Maybe I'm old now. Everybody probably says this, but was It Follows in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Close
so.
enough. Yeah, I think it's either 12 or 13.
I really
it's
like it.
13.
Yeah.
So, all right, I fall within that. All right. It Follows. Everybody probably says It Follows, but I really liked It Follows. It was one of the few movies. Oh, The Editor was really good. Did you ever watch that? It's like a comedy.
I don't know about.
It's like a pseudo giallo. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a parody, but it's like a kind of a comedy tribute to giallo films. It's Canadian, which is really good.
Yeah.
Wolf Cop. That was in the last 10 years, right?
Wolf Cop. Yep.
Yeah.
Wolf Cop was great. I like the sequel too.
Great.
I
Nice.
love Wolf Cop, and
Nice.
and the second one was good too.
Mhm.
I would say Host was one of my favorites.
I really
from
liked
class.
Host.
Yeah.
I really liked Host. I thought Host was one of those movies because there was a couple of them that came out. Right? There's like Unfriended or something, and then there was and I didn't care. Yeah, and like I couldn't get into those, but Host I thought was fantastic.
Fucking got me.
Deadstream.
Deadstream.
There you go.
Deadstream was awesome.
Yeah.
That was from this year, I think.
Was
Last
it? All
year.
right.
Last
Was that
year.
last
That was
year?
last year because a buddy of mine at work, he was talking about he listens to one podcast and Deadstream was the guy's number 5 for 2022. And I started fucking bitching about it. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge fan of Deadstream. So
Really?
I was like, they lost credibility putting that number 5 in 2023.
What
All
did
that debate at work about it, but
What didn't you like about it?
it was just, I don't know, it felt a little long. Had a few lulls in the story for me.
It did.
I'll be honest,
You're right.
headspace wise, I probably wasn't there in the headspace I should have been when I was watching it. I went to my phone too many times watching it, man.
That's one of my telltale signs too. If I spend too much time on my phone while I'm at a movie, that bothers me.
I can see that. No, I mean, there are moments in that movie I can. I didn't think it started strong. I thought it ended really strong. I thought it hit its stride about maybe halfway through it, and I think maybe if it had lost me, like if it had already lost me, maybe halfway, like 30% into it, I may not. One Cut of the Dead. Of course, everybody probably says that too. That was really good.
Yep.
I saw every year I try to like catch up because I'm not a big new horror movie guy. Like I always like I could go back and find stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that is going to be way better than even the best movie that comes out this year, horror movie wise. You know what I mean? And like I could go back forever. You know, I'll never get caught up. I mean, I will always see. I just saw. No, that was Messiah of Evil. Did you ever see Messiah of Evil?
Messiah of Evil.
Yeah, it was another one of those that got just suggested to me on Shudder. It's freaking awesome. It's
I think I've seen that recently.
There's the scene in the grocery store. There's like the probably the most iconic scene is in the grocery store, but there's a movie theater scene where like these people go to this town. I don't want to ruin it. It's if you haven't seen it, it's
yes, I do
awesome.
remember watching that, because it came up on one of our year lists that we did recently.
It's a Shudder. It's another one of those that Shudder just found, and I trusted them, and then I watched it. And it was awesome.
They were fucking batting 1,000 there for a while. Now they've had a couple of clunkers in there.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching a lot of the Paul Naschy movies. Another guy I met at a show, at shows. He's like a cool, like the coolest guy in the world. He just gave me like a stack of Paul Naschy movies, and I've just been watching those, and they're fucking awesome. Like, and again, like I'll never get caught up on. That man made like 80 movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like. So I'm a little hard on newer movies. Like I'm just reluctant to like. I'm not as enthusiastic about watching new horror movies as I am about watching older ones. But some of them I really enjoy. Like
doing this, we have to now,
right?
Yeah.
So you know,
I
got to keep up with it.
I find us we're like following certain filmmakers too a lot more. Different ones that are putting stuff out that kind of like their style, and so.
Pearl and X.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yes.
Pearl and X were great. I cannot wait for Maxine. I didn't think X, like I was like Ty West is awesome. Like I like Ty West a lot. He's cool, but like he was maybe pushing that retro aesthetic like a little too much, I thought. Like, and I was like, eh. And then when I saw the trailer for X, I'm like, man, he's like full on like he's just trying to make a 70s movie. So I was like, the gimmick's gonna get old in the first 10 minutes. And it didn't. It was awesome. It worked the whole movie. And then I'm like, Pearl. I saw that trailer. I'm like, now he's going for what, like a 1930s, like Technicolor aesthetic. Like this is gonna suck. And it was even better.
Like, it was crazy. It was so fucked up. And she killed it though. Without her killing it like she killed it, I don't know if that shit works. But god damn, did that work?
I hope we don't lose her as like a horror icon. Like Mia Goth there's something so magnetic about her on screen. I hope she doesn't elevate out of our genre. You know what I mean? Like I want her to stay with us for a little bit longer. Like
coronate her the queen. She's here. Yes.
It's weird because like she's mesmerizing on screen. Like in a way like you guys watch a lot of Italian horror like giallos and stuff like that. Yeah.
Zag's your guy.
Yes, sir.
Like Edwidge Fenech, you know her from the Sergio Martino movies.
Like I said, you'd have to show me an image, and I would be like, yes.
She's like, she was in All the Colors of the Dark, Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key, Four Dolls for an August Moon.
That's deep. I'm more. I go with Bava's and the Fulcis and the Argentos.
She was in a Bava.
Yeah.
She was in a Bava. She was in the $4. But anyhow, she's just magnetic on screen. Like you watch, like she's brilliant. She's
the Katarina McCall to Fulci, Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. No, she's another one that you just can't not watch her. Like you just want to see her on screen. It's amazing. And so many of those girls have such like Fenech did a ton of movies, which is great. Her catalog is deep. But then so many of them will come in and do a few. There's a bunch of Hammer girls like that too. Carlson. Who was their big one? Hammer had.
I don't know any names like that.
I can't remember her name. I know.
Colonel, that's your department.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. The most popular American film she did, the horror fans like, I remember is Maniac. But I will forever know her from Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter.
Yes, I know exactly.
I can't remember her name right now.
I can't remember her name either. She was great in Maniac, though.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's so good. Maniac. That was another one that I was like, how many people? And I know Maniac has a pretty big following, but it's a pretty disgusting movie. Like, you got to take a shower when you're done watching it.
It's so gritty. It's so dirty. It's so sweaty and nasty. I fucking love it, man. It's the best.
Joe Spinell.
You can smell that movie.
You can smell that movie. Yep. There's our review of Maniac.
Yep, there you go, FaZe. That's going to be our TikTok for the week.
I haven't seen the sequel. I haven't seen the last horror movie.
Oh, last horror film. Yes.
Yeah. Is it good?
It is good. Now you got to take it in stride. They didn't have Savini. They do, but they had a lot of blood.
Really?
They throw a lot of blood in that movie, but you could tell it was rushed at the end. He was sick at the end of it. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Spinell was?
Yeah, because went right into starting to pre-produce the actual Maniac 2, and he fucking died.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, before we let you go, I got to hit a couple of these. Hit a couple of these comments here. So
200 comments. Wow.
Corey, we haven't seen you in a bit. Thanks for watching, man. Good to see you again. He says the Beyond and Inferno artwork in your Etsy shop equal must buys for him ASAP.
Oh, thank you, man.
And he also says, maybe been asked, but do you do commissions?
Corey, I'm going to throw this up too. Let's get this thing rolling here.
Oh yeah.
Now, here's like the Black Hills from Blair Witch.
That was a lot of fun to make. That one was tough because, like, as they get lost, it's like in my brain, it was like it was like shifting as they slept. So
look at your compasses.
Yeah, so I had tried to have everything like switching as you went. Yeah. The Beyond one that Corey just mentioned, I don't know. I've done a lot of Beyond stuff, but the one of like the hell scene, that one actually is one of the few originals that is my wife won't let me sell. She doesn't even like the movie. She's like, but she just loves that painting. It's one of the few I love the Beyond. I painted so much from the Beyond.
Here's the Haddonfield map.
The Haddonfield one took me longer to make than that one and the Scooby one are the two that took me the longest to make of all the maps, just because you can actually follow Laurie as she's walking around the first movie a lot.
Right.
So it was like she makes a left, she makes a right, she crosses the street, there's a ball field, then there's another house, then she crosses another street, and then there's the house. Like trying to make all of that make sense. This is the one that, like, and also because as the franchise goes, like there's that like the poor side of town, like where Jamie lives, like so having the town be big enough to have like because Laurie looked like pretty wealthy, and then like Jamie was like broke and like white trashy, so like having the town have two neighborhoods was tough. So
excellent, Crank. We were walking all around there just a couple months ago. Let's keep going.
Did you say you do commissions?
Oh, that's right, commission. So. As I said, like, so most of the time when I do artwork, I do, it's all stuff that I love. It's stuff that I want to do, like stuff that like I feel passionate about. So I don't, as of yet, do commissions yet, but I do take suggestions, which the Paul Nashi thing was like, I didn't get into Paul Nashi, and the guy's like, hey, look, why don't you just watch these movies and tell me what you think? And if something strikes your fancy, that's cool. So I don't do specific commissions, at least not yet. I've done commissions in the past, and it didn't, like, it kind of sucked the fun.
Didn't feel right.
Yeah, it was like there was a stress and a pressure that like it just kind of ruined it for me. Okay. But I love commissions.
Have you ever like started painting one and just said, "Fuck, no, it's not working," and threw it away?
Oh my god, I have so many. I have so many paintings that I started, put a ton of time into, and then just fucking painted over. Like I was just like, fuck this movie, and I just painted over it, and then I painted something great. If you could scratch away the first layer of paint, you'd see this shit painting underneath it. Like,
look at that one, Colonel.
Oh, trust me, I'm looking.
Well, this is actually good that you have that up there, because Gina's question is, do you do any of the classic monsters?
I love the classic monsters. I did a whole run of the I think I did, it was 8. So I did
and black
the two
and white.
Wolfmen. The two Wolfmen. Frankenstein, Dracula, The Invisible Man, which is my personal favorite of the original run, and then I was like a series of 8, but it was all focused on hands. For some reason, I was like really into painting hands. So like,
well, and you started doing something now with the eyes.
Yeah, that's the American directors thing.
Right. Okay.
That's the series of American directors. And again, I have no idea what I'm going to do with them when I'm done. I'm just having a blast painting eyes. Like, I might try to assemble them into one print, because like, who's going to buy a set of Toby Hooper's eyes? Like, I don't know, but like,
I was going to say there was a shirt at Halloween 45, and I can't remember who the artist is right this second. I picked up, and it was the clown, young Michael's clown eyes. Mm-hmm. Below that was Laurie, I think, Laurie's eyes, and then below that was white mask Michael Myers' eyes, and then cool. And then Loomis's eyes. So maybe just stacking them all up might be a way to go.
That's
all
awesome.
Right. Who can identify this piece right here, folks? First one to identify it in the comments. I'm sending you a DCS Christmas ornament that has a horror theme on it.
Was it
And
Clue?
my daughter
Don't
can't
say it, Colonel. What the fuck?
Jesus,
Oh
Colonel.
my God, man.
Right.
It was.
I want that ornament, motherfucker.
I tried to turn the movie into the board. So like I tried to paint like I had to try to. Well, that was another one that was kind of tricky to do because like the movie doesn't. It's not a real house, so like layout wise, it didn't make sense. But I tried to make the movie fit into like the confines of what the board would look like. So.
Oh, there you go.
This is another one here, man. I was looking at it, just going, fuck.
I could do a whole book of just The Beyond. The Beyond is, I think it's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Like I feel like it's up there with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like it's just the whole movie is gorgeous. Every shot is like a freeze frame. I could paint that. Freeze frame. I could paint that.
So I want to ask you a quick question, Nick. Which movie do you prefer? City of the Living Dead or The Beyond? Which one do you think is the better Fulci film?
Beyond.
See, Zag, you're wrong, dude. I've been telling you for years The Beyond's
Opinions vary. I will say The Beyond has a better and a more satisfying ending of any Fulci film like that. But it doesn't touch the nightmare caught on film that is City of the Living Dead.
I would agree that The Beyond. It's funny because I watched it I love The Beyond, and I watched it with my wife.
I love The Beyond, but I love City.
I watched it with my wife, and because I loved it, and she liked that painting. I'm like, you don't even know what the movie is. Like, you should watch it. So we were watching it, and I was watching it like kind of through her eyes.
Nice.
There are critical moments in it. The movie's edited choppy. It's a really choppy movie. Like, which again, though, I don't mind the handmade quality. Like we were talking about Christmas Evil. Christmas Evil feels choppy as shit. Like but I think that's what adds to it for me. Like I like the fact that it doesn't seem polished.
Oh, they had no production value on that one.
Exactly. Well, the Beyond at times, like it feels sloppy, but there's just so many amazing visuals. But honestly, City of the Living Dead has. One of my favorite paintings I've ever done was the City of the Living Dead painting. Was the eyeball when I don't know if you ever saw that one, but like I sold the original at the show right before the show I saw you guys. But it was like when there's the shot of her eye, and then they zoom in really close to it, and then in the eyeball you see the priest hanging.
Yes.
I painted that. It was the eyeball with the priest hanging in it, and there's like, and then the guts. That's a freaking brilliant scene. The eyes bleeding. Like I've painted a lot of City of the Living Dead, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with The Beyond.
And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not.
You're right.
I can't be mad at you. I'm not mad at even Colonel. I love The Beyond. To me, that it struck me. I saw this at 12 years old in a theater, dude.
Yeah.
City of the Living Dead, and
so you're jaded. Yeah. So you're jaded. It's okay.
You know what's funny though is that
Beyond didn't get the release. It didn't get the same release.
I'm just trying to help Colonel out here.
I think my favorite Fulci film though, I really like Perversion Story and The Psychic though. Like those two movies, they're not like those movies feel more like the zombies in The Beyond feel a little like, oh wait, people like zombies? Let's put some zombies in this movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Perversion Story, I think they have better stories. Perversion Story and The Psychic both seem to have better stories, I think. And they also surprised me too because I had never heard of them, and I got them in a box set or something.
Oh fuck! And one of my favorite Fulcis was a TV made for TV. It's called House of Clocks.
Is it good? I've heard of it.
Fantastic, man! It's so fucking trippy. I ain't even gonna say anything about it.
Ziggy, how do you not have this piece right here?
I was looking at pulling different ones from the site just so we could show people tonight, and yes, this is fantastic.
This one. The woman that bought it, she's awesome. She's bought a bunch of my stuff. She got
sold.
What?
I said sold.
Yeah, she got John Carpenter to sign it, and then took a picture of her with John Carpenter getting it signed.
Nice.
And then they sent me the picture. I was like, "How fucking sweet is that?" She signed it. He signed it on the back though because I didn't want to ruin the picture.
That's all right. I mean, but look at this. I mean, he's got that long walk down to the lighthouse, which I love. I love the representation of the other spirits. One of those is Tommy Lee Wallace. You got Blake here. Just amazing.
We had this big trip planned ironically, well, not ironically, unfortunately for 2020, it was this cross country trip. We were going to drive down through take a train out and then drive down through like Oregon and Northern California, and I was going to hit all these cool stops. Like we were going to do the mortuary from Phantasm. We were going to hit this lighthouse. We were going to and then it was 2020. So
yeah,
everything was shut down.
We just went to the church from the fog when we were in Pasadena.
Did you?
Yep. Oh, dude.
And that was a religious experience for Ziggy. Easy.
Yeah, that's another one I didn't even mention. I mean, but just seeing that one Dark Night thing but being in the fog church and then lining up the same shot where they're all standing in there.
Did it look like it? Did it feel like could you
exactly
see it?
The same on the inside? Nothing has changed.
Very little has changed.
Very little has changed. Some of the banners and stuff, but the same stained glass windows are there.
Really?
The same little cubby that he sat at the beginning is still there.
That's so great.
Next time we see him, we'll have to show him some of the pictures.
Oh yeah. I'll send you over the whole roll. We shot 200 pictures there.
I've done so many Antonio Bay maps. Started sketches and breaking it down, and then again, I told you I was trying to work. Then I moved into a Carpenter, California. Then I scrapped that. Then I went back to Antonio Bay one. I scrapped that. Went back to the Carpenter, California. So
again, if you do an Antonio Bay one, just print one extra. Make sure I get one. I'm buying. I want it. I want it.
I want to hit this comment too because you had mentioned earlier about this being one of your first interviews and everything. Nick is a fucking awesome interview, observant and outspoken. Loving this.
So, oh, well, thank you. I hope I'm not too loud and rambling too much, but that's what I do. So.
No.
Dude, you're fascinating. That's what they're here for. This is Demon, right? Demon's Mask.
I did that Demons one was part of a father-son. It was the mask from Demons and then the mask from Black Sunday.
I had that one too.
Yeah,
I had that one too. It's the same style, the Black Sunday mask.
They look exactly. Yeah, I did them. Actually, I still have those. No one's ever. I've had people interested in the Demons one, but I guess Mario's maybe fading away. No one ever recognizes the Demons.
Over
one,
50.
I mean, the Black Sunday.
50 plus, man.
That's crazy.
And there's this one coming here. Look at this.
That was That was one of the ones that when I worked on it, I'm like, I don't know how many people are going to immediately recognize this as Haddonfield. It's probably not going to sell. They'll ask what it is. And the very first show that I took this to, within the first half hour, I sold it.
We were just in at that exact spot.
I had the guide said, right here, dude, sit down right here, and right there. Boom. And we got the same shot, dude. Yeah.
That's awesome.
By the way, it looks like a couple of people have already gone out and watched White Rose. So,
hey,
thanks for turning us off, assholes. I mean, come on, you could have waited. You could have waited 30 minutes.
A couple more minutes. Dark Night of the Scarecrow here.
I loved how that one turned out. That was the one that I came to.
I had the way the picture was cut in such a way I had to do it this way with the scroll, so I did a long scroll on it.
Well, thank you for not cropping it. There you go.
Yes.
And Corey here with the save. Carolyn Monroe, who we were talking about earlier.
Yes, she was beautiful. You can't not watch her.
And looks like Grizzly was the first one to say clue. So get that.
All right, Grizzly, you got it, buddy. 10,000 coming your way.
10,000 Christmas ornaments coming your way.
I'll show you what I got. Just give us the information in the private area. Give it to FaZe there, and we'll get it.
I'll get it from him.
Yeah, we'll get it. Just do it direct. Don't put it up there.
All
right, who knows this
one?
one?
Send me a message.
Who knows this one?
No one gets this one.
Anybody gets this? I got another ornament.
I can't see it.
Maybe I got the wrong one.
I'll give you a hint. He's not holding a hatchet in his hand. It's a newspaper. Or a magazine. I think it's a newspaper, though.
All right, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna give it.
Bill says Halloween, but I don't think that's it.
Nope. I'm gonna give you a hint.
Terry says Barbie, but no.
Close.
This starred the great Rutger Hauer. Am I right? Yes. Okay.
Hitcher?
That's it.
There we go.
Fuck. Who said the Hitcher? Someone say it, or did you say it?
I said it.
See, I learned Crank not to answer the fucking question.
Wait. Stacey Lee said it before I said it.
Good God.
That movie is so fucking
I love
good.
The Hitcher. And
Oh
fuck
my
the
God.
remake. Fuck the remake.
I haven't seen the remake. That movie, I watched it when I was younger, and I was like, this is good. And then my brother-in-law was like he was just, dude, I love The Hitcher. I was like, I have to watch that again. It is, I think it's the most tense movie I've ever seen. I really think it might be the most tense movie I've ever seen. From this moment, like, this is why I painted that shot, was like, from the moment, like, C. Thomas Howell's life is going good. Like, he's just cruising, listening to tunes, like, having a great time. And then just that, like, oh, I'll give this guy a ride. It's a nasty day. And then, like, oh my God, he just doesn't let up. Like, Rutger Hauer is fucking relentless. It's unbelievable.
I love it. Oh shit! There we go. I mean, it's a simple piece, but the dingy walls, the door, the blackness behind her, and you can fucking hear this painting. That's why I picked it.
That's what my wife said.
Yeah.
She's like, every time I hear it, she's like, I can hear her sing. I mean, every time I see that, I can hear her singing that song.
We're gonna get you. There's Bava, right?
Yep, that's Mario.
Yeah.
I love Mario Bava. All his films, like, I think Argent, you get in that weird, like, again, you rank things and you piss people off. I think Bava is my personal favorite, even though I think Argento was the overall better catalog, but I think Fulci's Best of the Best was better than all of them.
I think Argento had his movie, and then he went down the quickest. He went over the cliff the quickest with the quality and the things he did. In my opinion, I don't know. But I like the hardcore gore shit, man. So
yeah, I would say for Argento, from Bird with the Crystal Plumage to Opera, he didn't have a miss, and that's an amazing 20-year run. Like, none of those movies were bad in the middle. I mean, I was always a little soft on Phenomena, and then I rewatched it recently, and I fucking love that movie. I was a little soft on, what was the one with Carl Malden? Cat o' Nine Tails, and that movie's not bad. Like, they were all really good. Fulci was like, hey, fucking brilliant. Oh, this is great.
I think almost all the Fulci movies have moments of like, ooh, you know, that wasn't good, you know? I mean, but
yeah, I just don't think that he was so hit and miss with, like, he was just more hits than misses, but like he didn't have that run that I think Argento had. But I agree, after Opera, he was just whiffing left and right. I mean, there were a couple that really weren't bad, but for the most part, it just kind of dissipated. But like Cat in the Brain is proof. Like, Cat in the Brain is awesome. Like, and that came out when? That was like late
90.
80s?
Yeah,
or 90?
1990,
like,
I think.
Argento wasn't making anything near that good that late in his career. And Fulci was killing it with Cat in the Brain. Like, I love Cat in the Brain.
So charmingly silly.
It's like, it's what, 8.5 for, you know, Giallo. It was an Italian horror 8.5. You know,
check all the boxes, you know? Yeah, all the way down. Colonel, we're not going to say anything about this fucking glorious piece here.
How could I? You guys are going and going and going.
I'm sorry.
You gave me time to admire this fucking painting, man.
You nailed this one too, bro. I mean,
you did nail it. This one
is the ending.
Fantastic.
That's the one that my wife won't let me sell the original. It's still in our bedroom.
Nice.
Dude, you actually painted the fucking same painting that Schweck fucking put. Whoa, dude, what are you doing?
I know.
You're gonna open the gate.
I actually thought about, I was like, maybe I should just so I don't get myself in trouble, just paint the two of them standing in the middle, like at the end. Yeah. But then I was like, I'm leaving it.
I've got Vincent Price. This is the one of those anthologies, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. That was the Curious Case of M. Valdemar. It's when he dies, but they put him in a trance right before he dies.
Oh, God, it's so fucking scary when he stands up.
Yes. I love that. Vincent Price, he's my favorite. He's my favorite actor of all time. I painted him more than I painted any face. I love that guy.
See it again. I'm going to look at this one again.
I love the colors with this one. I was really happy with the colors.
Herbert West.
He's awesome.
Reanimator.
You guys met him?
Not yet.
You know what? He was in New Mexico, and we were so fucking busy. We never got over to talk to him. You know, he always had a line. He always had a big ass line.
he's one of the few guys that I was able to like get away from the table to go meet, and it was super cool about him. Is like I was talking to him because like I'm like a Maryland, Baltimore guy, so like I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe guy, and I love H.P. Lovecraft too. And he's kind of more of an H.P. You would associate him with H.P. Lovecraft, but he did a one-man Edgar Allan Poe play.
Oh, nice.
And so we were talking about H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe, and he's like, I feel like Lovecraft gets a ton of credit. He's like, but I think Poe was the better writer. And just listening to him go on and on about how great Edgar Allan Poe was, not that H.P. Lovecraft wasn't also brilliant, but like, you know, you would think the Reanimator would be pulling for Lovecraft, and to hear him just go like just wax poetic about Edgar Allan Poe was awesome.
And this is why you go to cons, folks. And
Yeah,
you never
exactly.
know what to say to them. You just never know.
Barbara Crampton, there's another one that is magnetic on screen.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. This
And
one
this
one kind of haunted me a little bit, man. I went, I didn't like it, you know? My feet hanging out. This fucking monster down there. So
I mean, it's no Humanoids from the Deep.
no, but I mean, the original Gill Man is still the most terrifying of all of those kind of things like that. So
I don't know, man. Humanoids from the Deep. I mean, they weren't trying to kill you.
that's true, man. You were, yeah.
It's like, hey, you know, killing people. We've seen that before. What's worse than killing someone?
Now this piece right here, this is what I was wrestling with. It was this or this. Where's it at? Up here. It was the painting or this one. I was going back and forth, and I just couldn't do it. And because you know, there's the Fulci, and then here's where everybody's from in Italy. It just what the fuck, man? What a brilliant fucking idea!
It's cool. The Giallo movies are, of all of the secret handshake kind of movies, the Giallos are the most fun because the people that love Giallos, like, it's not necessarily something that you can like talk about like with normal people all the time. Even people that it's even within our niche, our little niche, it's even nichier within our niche.
Yeah.
And like, there's like, it's your people will turn and be like, do you watch Italian horror? It's almost like, do you read Sutter Kane? Like, it's like, you know,
right.
it's like that's like even secreter of a secret handshake. They're the most fun. When I was in I did a show in Virginia Beach, and of all the places, what a huge Giallo community, like obscure horror kind of community of Virginia Beach, like, and everybody was like, it was one of the coolest experiences because it was like every person from different walks of life, people that like just out of nowhere, like, oh my God, Giallo this, that's from City of the Living Dead, that's from, you know, all your, you know, Forbidden Photos of a Woman Above Suspicion. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, the titles are so long, it gets ridiculous.
Just that's amazing beautiful stuff, man.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you. I kind of ramble again. I'm sorry. So.
No, you're good.
We love this stuff. I mean, you guys have such the best fucking stories, you know, and what's behind what makes you, and that's why we're here, man. So,
if Colonel didn't have to be at a day job in like 6 hours, then we'd talk all night. So, but.
Sorry, yeah.
But,
thank you guys.
But yeah, man, thank you for coming out. And what's the next convention you're going to be at? Is it Monster Mania in Cherry Hill?
No, I have the Mad Monster Party in North Carolina.
Oh, okay, you're doing that.
February,
That's February.
In February, yep.
Okay. Well, hopefully, if anybody's out in the North Carolina area or going to be heading that way for Mad Monster, go and check that out. Look up Nick. And
as always, man, the stuff looks a million times better in person where you can actually see the depth and everything. So, I mean, just go do it. Go see it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, thank you for joining us. And you did great for your first online streaming interview.
All right, well, cool. Good.
It was a lot of fun, man. It really felt like I was talking to you at your table.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, good. I was hoping like that I would feel that way and not be like thinking the whole time that like my, you know, this is being recorded. You know what I mean?
No, it's impossible. Well, we start working you from both sides, and then all three of us.
Well, you guys are good at what you do. Then, well done.
No, thank you.
Thanks.
And there's the link to his Etsy shop one more time up there. And
Christmas, folks, come on,
get over there.
Yeah, a nice piece, man, for Christmas. Get over there.
You got
Well,
time.
thank you.
You got just enough
We got a
time.
couple days left, I think, but
That's right. I know Bethany was talking about she still hadn't done any of her Christmas shopping. So, Bethany,
Hello.
there you go. So, but no, man, thank you for coming on and spending the night with us, and tell your family and everything we said hello. And I'm going to go check out White Rose later tonight and give that a view. So,
awesome. Thank you so much.
all right. And we'll see you down the road. We'll probably see you in
man.
Cherry Hill.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right.
Later.
Have a good night, man.
All right, see ya.
Wow. Cool cat, man.
There you go. Nickolas Jackson from Cine Tredici. I hope I said that right. I waited until he left before I could say it. Because...
That's how I did it phonetically down here. So that's how, yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I did it phonetically. You
I
bastard.
had to, man.
You cheat.
I would have forgot all about it.
Yeah, there we go. Tarek again saying, thank you, Nick and DCS. Beautiful show. High energy. Perfect interview.
Thanks,
BK
man.
saying, cool cat right there. And sorry, guys, I didn't get to all your questions or comments or anything. So
I don't think we got to all our questions.
no,
we skipped a couple.
We skipped a few of them, but they also got covered as we were, going on too. So, but actually, I don't need.
I gotta stop being such a cheapskate. It's just funny when we ask him that question where people are like that. I'm like, he's seen me do that and I think it was in Michigan, going,
I know, dude.
oh, and just walk away.
Well, and then I love the fact that he's like, oh, you got a couple pieces, and Ziggy's got a couple pieces, and then I see you down there going. I almost called you out for that too, but I didn't. But I thought you sold that very well. So that was hysterical.
It was fun. I mean, that I see more interviews in that dude's future. He's definitely gonna. There's more to tell.
Need to go. It looks like his kid's trying to get on the laptop.
Oh, Dad, I need it.
Dad, come on! I'm trying to play Roblox.
Well, guys, I do have a brief, quick announcement before we get out of here tonight. I know it's getting late, Colonel. We got to go, but I'm adding to the family. There's an addition coming to the family.
What?
Yeah.
Who'd you knock up? Is it somebody that was in Pennsylvania?
No. This is something that we becoming familiar with now, and it's happened 6 times before, and it's happening again. We're gonna get it to the stage here. Check it out. My latest acquisition from the great Angelo Mariano.
I still love. I mean, beautiful, but I still love it when I can get the Colonel jiggle.
He's
the Colonel jiggle.
That's me holding it in because
So I'm trying to show you my new child here, and you're fucking it up.
We're 22 minutes over, but sure, let's go ahead and show this painting for the next 10 minutes.
There you go. This is the slow pan. Now wait, I got a really long shot coming next. No, that's it, dude. But there it is.
Another Angelo, huh?
When we get it, another Angelo. He's coming back to the States, but when he started doing that, when he painted that fire, I've been like a moth to the fucking flame of this thing, and now he's finished it. It's from Zombie 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters, whatever you fucking call it. But he did it again. He fucking did it again.
And you saw that just for an instant online.
Yeah.
And we're like, God damn it, I gotta buy it.
Is that what I said when I texted these guys? I sent it on the messenger, and it's simply the picture of the painting, and below it, God damn it, period.
Yeah.
And they all knew. They started laughing.
Yeah.
We knew.
As soon as I read it, that motherfucker was bought. Like, it's like, okay.
Come on, man. That shit is so fucking awesome. And it's in uniform with all my other ones. I mean, I've got 5 Fulcis and 2 Sam Raimis. So that's crazy.
Wow.
I love the shit, man. Fuck. If this guy keeps doing this kind of shit, we're going to be running into him. I'm not going to be able to say no. I stick to my guys, man. I like what I like.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's glorious. That's it. That's all I got.
That was a great interview. Yeah, good announcement there, Ziggy. I'm glad you're adding another Angelo to, I assume, your other wall. Yeah.
Well, no. We're going to have to redo the whole fucking thing now. We got to get it stretched and everything. I got to get the cat arena stretched still. So, I mean, we got to wait.
I had to use my other wall, though, because I had his stuff on this one. So
right. That's why I flipped it today, because I had Nick's stuff on this wall.
Right.
That's like almost all Angelo over there.
No.
And that one will fit. I already know what I'm going to do. You know,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good work, guys. That was a fun interview.
It was fun.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That guy.
Like I said, I love it when one of the benefits, seriously, of going to these cons is meeting people like Nick, you know, people like Patrick from Fantasy Realms.
Yeah.
Same
thing. I mean, these are the guys.
People like Bill, from Bell's Fancy Creations and everything, and Gina.
Gonna make me say it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it for a minute, but then I was like, nah. So, but all right. Next week, folks. Next week we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We don't have an interview, so you're just stuck with the 3 or 4 assholes of ours, and that's it. But what?
I don't know.
Do you even know what we're doing next week?
I thought we were reviewing the dark swimming pool or whatever the fuck that is.
That's not until January.
January, man.
Fuck, I don't know. You know.
Do either of you know? You don't have to say it, but just yes or no.
No, I've been working 13 hours a day, so and editing in between.
I'm assuming Colonel doesn't know either.
Man, you know, I know. You know,
Okay.
I know.
All right. Colonel knows. Colonel's down on this.
All right, let me have it.
All right.
I get
Next
to be
week,
right
folks.
with you guys. Yeah.
Next week, folks, we're going to be doing our best and worst of Blumhouse, a top 10 and a bottom 5. So
that's mighty bold of you to assume I can come up with fucking 10 Blumhouse movies. That's why, I know. That's why you saw what we were doing last week, and I just stared into fucking space.
I had, I think, 40 something on my list that I've seen. You've seen.
I'm sure I've seen quite
several.
a few. But
All-time Blumhouse list?
All-time Blumhouse horror.
I'm up for this challenge.
I've seen 64 Blumhouse movies.
Okay, and how many of these fucking movies are we going to find a goddamn house fire?
63. 62.
We got to do the over-under on the house fires. I'm picking all house fire movies. That's it.
I'm picking all house fire movies. Brilliant. But no, so that's going to be our list next week. Get to work, boys. I've had my list built for a couple weeks. I've actually added to it over the last couple weeks because I've seen some other Blumhouse films that I didn't realize.
I just saw something from Blumhouse. What the fuck? No, not Thanksgiving. The one before that. Obviously Exorcist.
Mm-hmm. Will that be in the top 10 or the bottom 5?
Christ.
This sucks.
It's been on the calendar for months.
I know, but it's like out of sight, out of fucking mind, man. I try not to think about it.
I remember when we came up with it, I was like, well,
fucking killing me over here.
Oh yeah, we talked about this back in like June.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
we
kept backing it off.
I fucking come where I had to do this.
Yeah. Well, I think this one kept getting moved because we ended up like booking interviews, and I was like, yeah, we'll throw that one down a month.
Kick it down the road. Fuck.
We have no interviews. You're tired of doing interviews anyway. We've done 3 in a row.
Yeah, but I'd like to do a fucking ranking of some shit that I like. This is going to be the least enthusiastic Colonel and Pete guys have seen in fucking, I ain't going to say months, like fucking days. But
it sickens me the fact that I'm going to have to go on a Blumhouse fucking marathon now.
You are going to be surprised, I think, how easy this is because I've ranked all 64 of the ones that I watched. This is a good thing about Letterboxd. I'm really digging Letterboxd because I can work with all that and their organizational structure. It's beautiful. So
I've got my own list on there that's about, so you can search out. I mean, I know everything's on there, obviously, because you can't search by Blumhouse on there. But I think I put a list of Blumhouse films in ClickUp.
I think you did. I have to double check, but I'm like 99% sure there's one there.
Yeah. So, but there have actually been some. I'm also trying to catch up on my 2023 rankings because we got to do that in 3 weeks.
That one I have done already.
There's quite a few I still need to watch. Like, I need to watch Renfield before I cancel fucking Amazon Prime here after Christmas. I'm like, oh, shit.
But I've seen.
There's one on Netflix.
I just watched my 50th or 52nd, I think, movie from 2023 or 2023. So.
Yeah, but my top 10 is totally, I think, pretty solidified at this point.
You think your top 10 solidified?
Pretty much, man. I've been jostling the top 4 or 5 around a little bit, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
Joseph
his top 10 solidified, dude. He's seen 11 films this year.
Joseph made differ with you.
I want to see Godzilla. I do want to see Godzilla 0, dude. I like those kind of movies. So fuck yeah.
See, I'm not even a Godzilla fan, but I like this movie. I just they never struck a chord with me when I was a kid.
Well, there's fucking guys in rubber suits. When we were kids.
Now, here's what I'm a fucking
wrestling.
fan of. Really, I don't know if you guys have this on your list. I'm a real fan of getting to bed at a decent fucking time because I have to get up in 6 hours.
Oh, we're still on the air? Oh, I guess we should wrap it up.
No. Well, the bad news is we still got some shit to talk about.
I know. That sounds like.
Okay, then.
All right.
That's enough fun for tonight.
Yeah. You guys had enough fun, goddamn. You'll have fun when I go to bed.
Well, fine then. Here's the fun part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Tyrone, our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street Pete, Corey, Luke. And by the way, Corey, good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, dude. What's up?
Yeah. Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ.
Thank you all.
That's right.
Fucking thank you.
And of course, thanks to our associate producer, FaZe. FaZe, how'd you do tonight?
What was that?
How'd you doing there tonight? You were rocking and rolling with the links and stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was busy, but it was fun. That was a good interview. That was, for an artist, that was a really good interview.
Yeah, I love talking to the artist stuff. That's just fun. Maybe you can see I actually.
Well, yeah, clearly. I mean, we all like art around here.
Oh yeah, we got to get Corey on here at some point.
Corey, Muncie.
Well, Muncie's hard because he's so technologically deficient, and that's not an insult. He hates technology. So, and I applaud him for that.
Right.
In a way.
FaZe, who's been your favorite artist that you've met down the road here?
Oh, don't ask him that right after one leaves. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. Oh, you're just waiting for that, huh? I wondered when that was going to happen, but I'm glad it didn't yet.
It didn't happen. Not during an interview, never.
Right. But yeah, next week, the best and worst of Blumhouse, and then we're taking Christmas night off, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's kind of. Even though by 8:00 it's pretty much capped out and everything everywhere, but maybe it's not, and we don't need to do it. We can take a little time.
Oh, so next week? Wait a minute. So next week is our last show of the year.
Oh shit, it is, and we're doing fucking Blumhouse.
Fucking Blumhouse.
Wait, do I have a?
You got that? Yeah, great choice, Crank.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Asshole.
Thanks. Nope, I did not do it, Tarek. I look like Crank today. Don't ask him that. I'll tell him. Man, last show of the year coming up.
You believe that shit? That just doesn't.
Didn't even realize it.
And then a month from that, we'll be in Atlanta, baby. Ooh.
Atlanta.
Speaking of City of the Living Dead.
Yep, we're going to have some City of the Living Dead locations to check out, and maybe some Friday 6 locations. And Colonel is falling asleep staring at us, so all right.
You motherfuckers. I hear him calling us motherfuckers through his eyes.
That's right.
I hear it.
And you can hear it now too. Wrap it up, motherfuckers! Like a Chappelle show skit. Wrap it up! I'm about to hit the fucking music. Let's go.
What the hell is the matter with you anyway?
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next week. Get your list together of the best and worst of Blumhouse.
Yes.
And be ready. That's your homework for the week.
Is there even such a
Let's
thing?
suffer together. Like, let's do it.
Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. We'll catch you next week, folks. Have a good night.
Right.
Woo!
Just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run late. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
What? What did you say?